When you went to get it framed, you realized the frame will cost about 4 times the amount of the poster, which is actually absurd because no one will be looking at the frame, and if they are, then you severely overestimated how cool this poster is. But then you remember by switching your home and auto to Progressive, you could save hundreds and put it towards a classic 70s concert poster in an absurdly overpriced frame. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, other insurers, not available in all states.
A career in law enforcement puts you on a course with unlimited paths. At the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office, your career can take you virtually anywhere you want to go. Detention officer, deputy sheriff, and emergency dispatcher are just a few available career paths. As you gain experience, you may also earn specialized assignments or follow a leadership track. Pursue your passion and explore rewarding and exciting career opportunities with MCSO. Learn more at jobs.mcso.org. Honor the law, serve the people. Sponsored by the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. T&Cs apply.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM. Wherever you go, take us along. Listen to our live stream on our free Fanatic app. Download it today.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
For what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Tuesday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Phil to fill in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And we got a metric load of free agency activity that we're going to need to talk about. Lots of things. So many things have happened.
You have a new starting quarterback, Jeffrey.
Oh, you shut your face.
What?
I do not have a new starting quarterback.
What?
It's not going to be the first thing we talk about. And then I really don't even want to talk about it. But the Cardinals are just reimagining their defense as we speak. But first, there's things we got to talk about before we get to the football. You can't have your pudding if you don't eat your meat. And that is what Pink Floyd said. So we're going to have to abide by that.
I think vegetables figure somewhere in there, but I don't know what that would equate to in this analogy.
Well, I feel like the vegetables go with the meat and the stew. So
you can't have your pudding if you don't eat your meat.
You, laddie. So
Aye.
Here's the thing. I have a big question. And Phil,
I've got a big answer.
You paid attention.
Yeah.
You were kind of there for it.
Yeah.
How in the hell did Abilene Christian Wildcats beat Grand Canyon University? We said anything could happen. We did say that, but I was like, yeah, come on, man. They beat them by so many points in a couple of different games, and now all of a sudden Abilene Christian is like kicking butt and taking names. Yeah, they won by 1 point, but it took overtime. And what happened to GCU?
Yeah, it was a crazy game, actually. Like, it was one of those where at the beginning of the game, I, just like anybody else, thought it was a foregone conclusion.
Right.
And one good run to start out the game by Abilene Christian meant that the Lopes were consistently playing catch up, because every time it was a game of runs where Abilene Christian would have a run of like 8 to 12 points.
I think you're talking about diarrhea.
No.
There's some kaopectate or do you need some Pepto-Bismol?
Stuff was happening, if you know what I mean.
Pretty sure you're talking diarrhea.
Yeah. And so 13 points by Abilene Christian, 8 to 13, somewhere in there would happen. And then all of a sudden the Lopes would respond with an equal impressive run for themselves. And then it would they would catch up to each other. It would just like, they look at each other, be exhausted. And then
wasn't that kind of messy? I mean, having all those runs.
It was getting, everybody was getting
what was messy is the missed free throws and turnovers.
Exactly.
That was the big difference in the entire game, right, Phil?
Yeah, Abilene Christian is certainly a team that feasts on turnovers. They are one of the most prolific in generating turnovers in the WAC, and the Lopes can be messy at times. So, and that showed itself here. And
messy,
so finally,
like as in runs.
Yeah,
Is that what kind of Messi we're talking
Oh
about?
my
here?
gosh, nonstop runs, Randy. Nonstop runs. There was only like one dry spell.
I'm gonna take that button away from you, Randy.
Dry spell. Did
Gonna
you
take
say
that
there was
button
a dry...
away from you?
Oh,
I did. Yeah,
Okay, that's the last time, Randy.
And so by the end of the game, the Lopes had a chance to win it in just downright regulation, but they didn't. They didn't get that chance. And then
it wouldn't be safe to say they flushed it away.
All right, Randy, I'm officially taking that button away from you. I'm
What?
having
You
that button
can't-
removed from your computer.
You cannot.
I
still
warned
there.
you. I warned
wait,
you to stop
uh,
hitting that button. You're good. That's it. That's your last warning.
Abilene Christian won due to the lack of consistency in GCU.
Did you just say doo-doo? Sorry. I'm sorry, Jeffrey. I'm sorry. I
to
couldn't
be fair,
help myself.
I did give him a layup there, Jeffrey.
Yeah, that was
that was mostly on me.
entrapment right there.
Yeah, that should fall on me.
So, all right, fine. John Madden scored 17 points in that game. And Abilene Christian Wildcats.
Wait, John Madden?
Hunter Jack Madden, but I'm sure they call him John.
Yeah, it's a Tofurkey.
So, yeah, now GCU slid down one game. It wouldn't have mattered. Remember last week when I told you, win or lose, it won't matter because they are in the second place. And as long as Utah didn't lose any games, they were always going to be in first place. So,
yeah, they were locked into the 2 seed. They had a chance if possibly.
He would have taken Utah losing a couple games.
Yes.
And that was
Utah,
certainly not going to happen.
Of course, lost 2 games.
They did not lose any games. And so now they're the number 1 seed in the WAC tournament. GCU and Utah, they get the bye until Wednesday. And of course, Wednesday is the day where GCU is going to enter the WAC tournament, and they'll play whoever wins on Wednesday, I think. No, wait, no, they're playing UT Arlington, aren't they? They're playing the UTI.
Yeah, you don't want to get a UTI, that's for sure.
No,
especially now when battling digestion issues.
That they have beaten pretty easily on more than a few occasions, but so is Abilene. So I don't even know what to think right now. I don't even know what to think. It's going to be probably each game is going to be a competitive game with GCU, and we'll see what happens if they get to the tournament on Saturday. But yeah, that Abilene Christian loss, that's kind of a shaker right there.
That does. One wonders, though, when you know that the floor is still safety, right? Like when you know that you're kind of hoping for.
So the floor's not lava; it's safety.
It is. It is safety, and that it's reassuring. It makes sure that you know that you can't really fall. It's the last game. You're more focused on the tournament and then the bigger tournament. Whenever that happens, I can see where complacency comes into play. So I wonder if knowing that each game now matters, that forces something out of the GCU Lopes. They were.
No, I got you.
Yeah,
because this game didn't really matter, but it does matter to seeding in the NCAA tournament.
It did. Yes, it did.
Now that they've lost that game, they'll won't be as ranked as high if they do win the WAC. Now you see how I'm using words like if. I was using words like when. Now I'm using words like if because.
I think okay, if I understand this right, and maybe I do, and you guys help me out here. If GCU does not win the WAC tournament,
they will not go to the NCAA tournament.
Not a chance.
And that's kind of what I was feeling, right? Yeah. I mean, for you to go to the big dance, you're going to have to win this tournament because there is so much competition. Am I right?
That is correct.
All right.
The only thing I could see maybe for them is the NIT in April. Maybe, but probably even not that.
Yeah.
Probably not even that. And I don't know if they'd go anyways.
Yeah. Their resume is not that impressive.
Right. So they have to win. They have to. I mean, that's the way this tournament works. They have to win, but they have to win the WAC tournament to get into the NCAA tournament. End of story. And nothing is guaranteed. So we're rooting for you, GCU. But you got us nervous. You got us worried. So we'll see what happens there. Arizona State University is playing at 4 p.m. This afternoon against Kansas State in the Big 12 championship tournament. Am I supposed to say Phillips 66 Big 12 championship? Am I required to do that?
And that's a great name to have.
I don't think you have to say that. I mean,
I didn't know Phillips 66 was still in existence.
Well, I mean, it's only 3 away from the best number possible, but yes.
So they're taking on Kansas. So ASU is taking on Kansas State.
64 if you relax, Phil. What was that? Yeah, Kansas State.
ASU's taking on. Oh my God. Okay.
Right. See,
Oh,
they're not
God.
that great either. There should be a competitive game.
I feel like ASU does not have the upper hand here. I feel like ASU is really going to have to come up with something strong. Of course, ASU's record 13 wins, but they also have 18 losses. They're 4-16 in the Big 12. Not ASU's year. Come on.
Kansas favored by 6.5 points.
I mean, all we can do at this point is best wishes and thoughts.
Yeah.
Going out to ASU.
Go find the cheerleaders and start giving them a new
oh
chance
my
to say,
God,
hey,
no.
cheerleaders, give me a C. Give me an O.
It's not a sport.
Give me a V E
no,
R. What is that
Robert
spell?
from
Cover.
Surprise says,
think
thinking it's
so.
called Phillips 76. Well, according to ESPN, it's the Phillips 66.
66, yeah.
Is it right? Is it the 66 or
No,
the
it's
76?
66. No, it's 66. It's a Union 76.
Oh, you're
Phillips.
right. You're right.
66.
You're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Just the Tip says, I love following GCU. I miss Marley coaching. Was kind of the Hurley without, being all bitter.
Well, I mean, Thunder Dan was was a good
He
coach.
was a good coach, but
he wasn't getting the job done.
Bryce Drew's getting the job done.
and
He's
yes,
he's a really good coach.
And look, I mean, his third season in, he's been to the tournament once. He's fighting for another chance. You don't know what's going to happen. I mean, they could very well sweep through this tournament like a thunderstorm through a dry Arizona desert.
Sure. Okay. Boomer Sooner says Phillips has a presence in the Midwest. Okay. I just haven't seen a Phillips station in a hot minute. So anyway, so that's what's going on in our college basketball. And of course, coming up later on at 5:45 p.m. Here on 1580 The Fanatic, we've got the West Coast Conference Championship for you. And then tomorrow we won't be here because it's the NCAA Patriot League Championship. And then we're back on Thursday. Okay. So that's what's happening.
So mark your
Back Thursday,
calendars.
and then
People are whining on Twitter.
Yes,
why
people-
didn't you put it on social media?
We're off
Because we're
Friday.
bad at it. That's why.
oh yeah, we're horrible at the social media. Yeah.
Pay attention. We've told you anyway, Anywho, Big George says, well, we changed our clocks over the weekend. Well, we didn't. You had to. Everybody
Yeah.
outside of Arizona did.
Yeah.
And he says, now we're on the same time, which is good because I can listen easier to the show from 3 to 6. How you doing? We're fine, George.
Hi, George.
We have
Hi,
so
George.
much that we need to cover, and then we got tons of NFL free agency to talk
Oh
about.
my
So
God, so much NFL.
no
Yeah.
time for the pleasantries.
Tons of Colts talk.
Yeah, really not so much.
A lot of Colts talk
not
going on
really
here.
at all.
Wall to
Oh, my
wall
God.
breaking
no,
quarterback
actually,
discussion.
Watch me distract him with NASCAR talk. Christopher Bell winning the third straight NASCAR Cup Series race over here at Phoenix Raceway over the weekend.
Yes.
Were the tires actually red? I heard something about a set of red tires.
Well, that's a type of tire. That's a grip style.
Were they red? Like
Uh,
actually red?
I don't
Red,
think
red.
so. No.
Well, they should
might
be
have,
red if you're going to call them red.
might have had a red stripe on them, and then the rest of the racing world calls them red tires. It's much to do about Formula One too. Formula One usually in a weekend has 3 different type of tires, and it's a blue, white, and green set of tires, if you will. And I think this is what they were talking about for the NASCAR. Christopher Bell, well on his way to being a championship favorite. But remember, it is a long season. C-Bell has a long way to go before November. So keep that in mind. He's got a long summer, and he's going to have to keep that team with Joe Gibbs Racing going. But congratulations to C-Bell out at Phoenix winning the was it Shriner Kids 500?
Something like that, sure.
Were there 500 Shriner Kids out there?
That's what we were hoping for, but I don't
That's
think
what
that ever happened.
Understand was going to happen.
I know.
The F-35s were going to fly over and drop the 500 kids out of them, right?
Would have been even better.
Is that okay? All right.
So for Joe Gibbs Racing, though,
Yeah.
Denny Hamlin and him being the 1 and 2 on that's not bad.
Yeah. Well,
Joe Gibbs got to be happy.
Yeah, I mean, Coach is happy. That's what everybody calls him, Coach. And he's got this race team moving in the right direction. But again, it is a long season. There's a lot to happen. Of course, Michael Jordan is involved with the race team. He's out there. He's got things going. He's got a lawsuit happening with NASCAR. NASCAR is whining and complaining about the fact that a participant in NASCAR is suing them, and there's not a whole lot they can do about it. Bottom line is Michael Jordan challenging the model of the NASCAR model of business, and so trying to make it more level, if you will. And there's a lot of teams. There's the Hendricks team. There's the Penske teams out there. I mean, I saw the 22 car get out in front. I'm not going to say who that was.
Yeah, we're not talking about that.
Yeah. I'm not going to say who that was, but he didn't win.
Nope, that's all that matters.
That's yeah.
Oh, hey, remember we were talking about Catherine Legge or Leger?
Oh yeah.
She was out there and not a great start. She finished 30th because she said she was fighting a tight car. What does that mean?
Well, that means a car that won't turn. A tight car means one that will not turn in the corners. It keeps you go into the corner maybe a bit too fast, and it keeps aiming for the fence. Even though you turn the wheel to the left, it keeps aiming for the fence. And so you've got to really work your brakes. You've got to really watch your speed.
So that's why she spun out twice.
You can't go as fast as you want to. Yeah. And
took Daniel Suarez with her on the second one.
Well, there you go. A lot of times when you get out there with the weather conditions, temperatures, air temperature, track temperature, it all kind of factors into it. If you have a tight race car, it's not going to be a smooth day for you. Yeah.
Not a smooth day for the Phoenix Suns yesterday. Boy, Kevin Durant. If you've watched the video, people making a big deal about Kevin Durant trying to trip Cam Spencer. It was kind of like a half-assed, not absolutely committed sort of thing. He just like, you little jerk. Like, kid said something to him. He kind of kicked his leg out at him, and he didn't really. I don't think he even made contact. But then everybody started talking, and you saw the video of Kevin Durant going head to head. I can't remember who that was.
It
was that Durant? No, it was. Oh my God, I forgot his
somebody
name.
From. I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name either. I saw the highlight. Yeah.
So, that it was just such not a big deal. Nobody was actually going to fight. They were just talking, and he was like, talking. There was never going to be any kind of a fight. People are making a big deal out of it. There was no big deal there.
I think KD was like, get off me, bro. Just back up. Give me some room.
But, losing to the Memphis Grizzlies, not great. Oh, it's Ja Morant. That's who it was. Anyway, and so people are saying, man, nothing's changed. We won one. We lost one. Then the Kevin Durant trade rumors are as follows: that the Suns want 3 first-round picks and a young player in return for Kevin Durant when all is said and done. I know they can't do it now because the trade deadline is passed, but they're talking in the offseason. So the Suns will want 3 first-round picks and a young guy.
Yeah, and I want free bread and ice cream for dessert after every meal that I ever have. I mean, it's something. Sometimes, yes, you want these things. You paid an absolute metric ton for Kevin Durant to acquire him from the Brooklyn Nets in the first place. Guess what, guys? You're not going to be able to recoup all of that stuff. And maybe, this is where all negotiations start, where you want the moon, the sun, and the stars, and then you end up settling on maybe a nice, good plot of land. That's about it. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean you can't blame them for trying to get what they're going to get. But the question is, at this point, I know Dwayne Rankin from the Arizona Republic was saying that Kevin Durant was upset when the Suns were actually talking trades about him last month. And so it's like, all right, where is Durant at? Is he at a point where as soon as the season ends, he's going to be like, okay, I want you guys to trade me? Or is he going to be cooperative in this, or is he going to be hostile in this? I mean, the whole idea is you got to get as much as you can in return to try to get back to where you were before when you gave up those guys you should have never given up in the first place.
I think Kevin Durant, being as much of a veteran as he is in the NBA, I think he wants things to end kind of on his terms. I mean, let's face it. Kevin Durant is towards the end of his career. He's more to the right side date than he is to the left side date, if you will. He's not a rookie. He's a seasoned veteran. And I think he's got the respect most of the league. And I think he wants to go somewhere where he can end things on his own terms. And it doesn't necessarily mean a 100% contender. Somewhere where he can contribute, somewhere where he can play ball. We already know he's not a big vocal leader. He's a guy that's going to come in and help your team. Now, what does that mean for the Phoenix Suns? Do the Phoenix Suns get a contender to give up 3 of their youngsters and a young person, one of their young players for Kevin Durant? I don't know that that's going to happen.
It depends on the perception of the other teams and what Kevin Durant is. They're going to play the Suns, like Skip Bayless is right, and that Kevin Durant looks semi-retired now, and he's trying to put this stuff out. Really, you dip bleep. I got to tell you, there's nobody dumber than Skip Bayless.
Yeah.
Because let me give you the stat line. Kevin Durant is right now averaging 27.3 points, 7 rebounds, 4.4 assists, 1.1 steals, and 1.1 blocks per game.
Mhm.
That is not semi-retired, you boob. So, but that doesn't help because then the Suns are going to have a harder time when they do try to trade with somebody else, because they're going to be like, well, word on the street, that stupid crap like that. So
yeah, I know
it's does make it harder for the Suns to get what they want to get. Well, they may also be a little bit unrealistic.
Well, it's unrealistic. Keep in mind that if you are part of Suns Nation and you are waiting, hopefully, for something to make this all go away and make you feel better, and then we'll still contend. No. You at best are going to get one of the 3 things that anybody who trades a superstar gets. You're only getting one. Sometimes you get all 3. Sometimes you only get one. We are only getting one. We're either getting a young, good piece that we can build around, a la maybe a Mikal Bridges, which we already gave back. So somebody like that who's not Mikal Bridges. We're either going to be getting just a boatload of picks. So give them to Oklahoma City Thunder, and they'll give you an Isaiah Hartenstein, somebody that they're like, okay, we can lose him, and it's just a salary cap space swap. Or you get maybe just a bunch of role players that kind of amount to the same cap space. Maybe one. You're going to get very limited return on what you can get for Kevin Durant, because that's just where he's at.
I don't know, because I feel like it's what time of the year does this trade happen? If it's close to the to the draft,
yes,
you might get more draft picks than if it's further away from the draft. You see what I mean?
Well, it can't happen until after the season's over.
Right,
so you're talking
right.
July.
Right. I understand that, but I'm just saying,
honestly,
further from the draft, closer to the draft, I think that's going to depend on when we make the trade.
I think it'll be before the draft to directly address that. But I think, honestly, the last route available to you might be the best one for the Suns, in so much that I think that the best way that they could utilize Kevin Durant as a draft piece, as somebody that other teams want to acquire, is using him as a lure to get rid of the Bradley Beal contract, because that more so than anything else is really acting as an anchor around the neck of the Suns organization right now. So if they can get rid of that contract, that gives the Suns hope that they otherwise would not.
All right, listen, we're late for a break, so let's do that. When we come back, we'll talk a little more about this, plus some other NBA stuff, some hockey stuff, and then in not too long a time, we're going to dive head first in all this NFL free agency. So much has happened, I hardly even know where to start, but it's not going to be with the Colts. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out collection letters, garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out, because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it even harder to get out of debt. Don't let tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in taxpayer assistance programs that can can save you thousands if you qualify. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Let them fight on your behalf, helping to put your tax problems to rest. Call the tax professionals at Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-410-6744. 800-410-6744. 800-410-6744.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
AZ Preps 365, your source for all the news, info, highlights, and more. Athlete news and interviews. Talk with coaches. Keep you up to date with the changes, moves, upcoming events, and more. AZ Preps 365, Arizona's ultimate prep sports show. If you miss a minute, you miss a lot. AZ Preps 365, Saturday mornings 8 till 10 on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
I'm an Arizona truck driver. I deliver food, medicine, supplies, and hope.
And during times of crisis, I support our communities. But every day I see people putting lives and families at risk.
Distracted driving is deadly, period. Be aware, be safe, and visit sharetheroadaz.com and find tips on how to drive safely around trucks.
This message is sponsored by the Arizona Trucking Association Foundation.
The Super Bowl is over, and now you're feeling blue because you think football is over. Well, snap out of it, bub. Football's always in season here. Get ready for the hirings, the firings, the free agents, the mini camps, and this little thing called the NFL Draft. Get your pigskin on your home for the NFL and Super Bowl 60, 1580, and 99.3. The Fanatic.
Today, Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Let's get caught up on the text line real fast. Robert from Surprise says, when are the Suns going to find a player they can build around? I don't think Booker is that guy. Well, again, when you say build around, Booker is the guy. As far as players go, but he's not the leader. You need to bring in a leader. And if you want to bring in a leader and build around him, it's all fine and good. But stats wise, I mean, you can't say a bad thing to Kevin Durant or Devin Booker about their stats, about their ability, about their talents. It just, this chemistry, this recipe ain't working. So, but I don't know if I don't know if you can say they're not guys you can build around. They just haven't done well building around them.
No, come on. Let's be honest here, Jeffrey. I mean, he's not a top 10 player in the league. And I think that's what you need in order to build around a player, or maybe even like a Jalen Brunson is probably like the lowest tiered superstar that you can possibly have to build around.
I think he is a top 10 player in the league.
Devin Booker?
Yeah, I think he can be. Again, it's a matter of, the supporting cast. I mean, look where we were when we went to the finals. Look where we were with Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton in the lineup, and he was playing like that kind of guy. I'm telling you, it's about the recipe. If the recipe's not right, no, he's not a top 10 player anymore. And I know what you're going to say, and you need to be a top 10 player no matter what is happening. But the stats are undeniable for both him and Durant. It's a shame the recipe was wrong. And it cost us a lot. It cost us some future. But now we got to pick up the pieces and figure out what's next. Donnie says, Suns have no leverage. KD wants out and he wants to play next to his buddy, Anthony Edwards. You are so effing delusional. It's not even funny. Maybe he would entertain it, but aren't your Timberwolves top heavy anyway? I mean,
oh God, that would be a really bad trade if the Suns do take that, because no matter
we'll
what,
take Anthony Edwards.
Well, yeah, no, it's not going there. At best, the Suns are getting like Julius Randle and maybe a pick, maybe.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
Yeah, it's off.
Robert from Surprise says not paying players around him is what I meant. Oh, okay. I don't know what you meant. I didn't read your other one. He said, I feel like the Suns don't believe in Booker. That's why they're not paying the players around him. His stats are amazing.
What do you mean?
Yeah, what does that mean?
They brought in even
Brad
though it
Beal's
was wrong.
Paid.
Even though it was wrong, they brought in Brad Beal. They brought in Kevin Durant.
And before that, they had brought in Chris
You
Paul.
know him well enough to call him Brad, Randy.
Oh yeah. We're
I feel
like
you'd
this.
say
we
it's
are
Bradley.
we are like this. I think Brad Beal. He would call me. He would let me call him
you
BB.
Rand?
No, he would call me Rand, and I would call him BB.
Oh, I see.
Double B. Yeah.
Oh yeah, BB. Yeah.
Just a tip. The answer to that question is no. Moist one says, can't fight it. Just got to ease into it.
Well, I think the Suns need to break it down. They're going to have to do something with Kevin Durant. They're going to have to do something with Bradley Beal, and maybe, and I hate to say this, Devin Booker, and they're going to have to start over.
Yeah, Devin Booker to me, his ceiling right now is maybe like a Jaylen Brown, where like at best he is a fantastic, phenomenal number 2. But that's where you want him. Like if he's your number 1 piece,
I mean that's what Jeffrey and I have been saying. Devin Booker is not the leader on this team. When they had Chris Paul, it was Chris Paul. Everybody talked about Chris Paul, the floor general. They talked about the point guard. That nobody was talking about how Devin Booker stepped up and led this team. And now you got Kevin Durant in here. Everybody thought Kevin Durant was going to come in and lead this team, and he didn't. He did not.
Yeah, I don't remember anybody saying he was going to lead. I never remember saying.
Well, I remember, myself and other people think, he's going to come in here and he's going to take this team to the next level. And I don't know what everybody else meant, but I know what I meant. I meant that maybe he's going to bring this team to the next level by leading the team, being a vocal leader, being a guy to hold other players accountable, and he's not.
Regal Beagle says the Suns have no edge and grit. We lost it when Jay Crowder mysteriously disappeared. I think he disappeared himself.
Yeah, he excused himself from class in the homework on that one. Jay Crowder did. I would argue it left whenever Chris Paul left, because ever since then you were left with DeAndre Ayton, who's not going to give you any grit and tenacity, and then you traded him out essentially in the package that went for Kevin Durant. You're not getting any there. Devin Booker, he's just it seems that the most tenacity that he's got is against his own team, so much so that Budenholzer says that you need to tone it down there, Book. So it's
bad coaching.
That I would agree. But much to your point, Randy, I think very often in sports, not only does your best player have to be the leader, they have to at least be on the top tier level. Look at even Victor Wembanyama. I don't know that he's like a tenacious leader like Chris Paul obviously is, but he is certainly a leader that everybody in that locker room looks up to. Mm-hmm. So and there's many different ways that you can lead. Devin Booker just doesn't seem to have that leadership bone in him.
Well, Devin's a quiet guy, and you're not going to blame Devin for being a quiet guy, being who he is.
But I do need leadership.
He's not a leader. He's not a vocal leader like a Jimmy Butler.
Are they making them anymore?
I mean, look at what Jimmy Butler is doing in look what he's doing in Golden State. Hey, look what he's doing over there.
Just a tip says the tall guy, that Minnesota guy, that fish guy, literally helps this listen mean more sense. Mm-hmm. Guess who's drinking? Guess who's drinking early?
From Minnesota. I think he was referring to Julius Randle in there, but that's about.
I think George. You're talking about George, Donnie, and Fish.
Oh, I see.
Maybe.
I see.
Yeah, that's a good call.
I don't think we've heard from Fish Tank yet. No. Hey, listen, everybody. I know things are tough with the Suns right now, and well, here's something to make you feel better. The Lakers are losing. That's nice. So LeBron James, he's going to be out for a couple of weeks because of some injury.
12 weeks.
No,
12 weeks.
He hurt himself flopping.
Oh yeah.
And so he's going to be out for a couple of weeks. And then the other day, Luka Doncic and the Lakers, they got beat by the Brooklyn Nets.
Sprained an ankle. Oh,
JJ Redick is very angry, and he's had lots to say. But to their credit, the players, every player on the team's like, "Oh, it's my fault. Oh, it's my fault." Everybody's, "It's my fault. It's my fault." I'm just enjoying that they've hit a slump at the worst possible time.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. Just hating.
I mean,
simply hating.
Yeah, simply. Yeah, that's all it is. My goodness.
Jeffrey, have you heard from Ralph?
Not about this. Not about this. Robert from Surprise says, I think you guys are making my point for me about Booker. If you put the right pieces around the wrong piece, it's still all wrong. I don't think that's what happened. I think they
What
put
do
the
you
wrong
mean?
pieces
such a roundabout
around
way of
this
saying that.
player, the wrong kind. Listen, Kevin Durant is always the right piece, but you can't have two guys who are the same temperament and no leadership. I mean, that's why
Yeah.
Chris Paul
Yeah.
existing made it work.
Yeah.
So, but listen, here we are. It doesn't matter who's right or who's wrong. All I know is
wonder
things have got to change.
You know, Jeffrey Triple H, he played a little basketball in high school.
He did.
He's like,
maybe we send him over to the Suns and.
Well, they need a guy that just
I'm
north
just-
of one of the dwarves from Snow White. Is that what they need?
Yeah, I'm thinking that we.
Have
send
you met him in
over
person?
there.
Yes, I would think he's
like this tall. He played a little basketball.
I'm sure he
I
played
think
little basketball.
He could talk his way through it.
Why do you want to get rid of him? Why do you want to
I
send him to the
don't want to
Suns?
get rid of him. Phil could fill in until.
I don't think the Suns are
off
looking
game
for Harris.
Yeah.
Don't think so.
Hmm.
So, this is making this year so much harder.
Yes.
With the hockey leaving Phoenix, with
Oh,
the
yeah.
Coyotes
Oh, yeah.
going
Oh, yeah.
to Mormonville,
yeah.
and we're sitting
Yeah.
here with no hockey. And
Who?
then then you look
that-
up, you see this picture, and then oh my God, the Superman punch.
Jeez. Yeah.
Dude's coming in for a Superman punch. And
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
want to know, there's two things about this you need to know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He connected. He
Uh-huh.
got that punch right in that guy's noggin. Yep. And then Simon Benoit is the guy from Toronto, came up, Superman punch, bow, right in the kisser on Utah's Michael Kesselring. So that is a
that's
former
too bad.
Coyote
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
his
He's
dome
getting his
rocked by the
ass
Superman
kicked.
punch.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then
He's
right
getting-
after, Michael Kesselring beat the living hell out of him.
Oh my God.
The one.
So he gets this cool picture out of it, but I mean, immediately gets his ass whooped all over the ice because he put everything into the Superman punch. He had nothing, no balance left, so he just grabbed him, just started going off on him like an out of control windmill. It was just
Oh boy.
amazing the
Yeah.
beating that Michael Kesselring put on Simon Benoit after that. It wasn't that long of a fight. They separated them, and Superman punching Benoit was okay. It wasn't like he got knocked out, but he got the worst of that. So all he gets, he probably is going to have this picture in a frame up in his house. He just
in his house.
Oh God,
Oh.
yeah. Wouldn't you want
Hey,
that in your house if that was you?
You would think it'd be in his house and his locker.
Wherever
at the,
you can just
oh
hang a
my
picture.
God. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Just you don't talk about what happened next. You just keep the rest of that to yourself. Is that
Yeah.
true, Average Joe? Is that a true story? Is this
Mm.
breaking news true? We have breaking news.
Breaking news.
I want to know if this is. I can't verify this yet, but according to Average Joe, the Jacoby Brissett is
Yes.
signing with the Arizona Cardinals.
Yes, that is true news. He is
Haven't seen
signed.
that pop up on my screen yet.
Yes, it has. He's
That
signed.
is a great backup for Kyler Murray.
Well, completely different styles. So one would wonder if it is actually good. But
It
yeah.
is a good because he's a mobile. He can be a mobile kind of quarterback.
Jacoby Brissett?
Yeah,
No,
he can.
no, he can't.
Yeah,
He's
I've
going
seen him.
mobile.
He,
Oh yeah.
he is
He
not.
used to be with the Colts. Remember?
He's
Yes, I
going
know.
mobile.
Look, maybe he was mobile like
I didn't
17
say
years
he
ago.
was fast.
No, he's not fast, and he's not. No, that is the guy that you say, hey, this is a pocket
Here's-
pass.
Here's what I'm getting from the NFL.com. Cardinals to sign Jacoby Brissett to back up Kyler Murray. That was 40 minutes ago.
Yes.
Okay, well, it's not that
To
much. It's
sign-
breaking to me. If it's not breaking,
It's not. It hasn't happened yet.
well, it'll happen. Once you get to that point, it's happening.
Yeah,
to
it's
sign.
yeah.
Yeah.
The terms have not been disclosed, but he has signed.
Wow. I mean, of course, how many years ago was he with the Colts? 5, 6, 7 years
It's
ago.
been-
So you're saying he's no longer
9 or
running?
He
9 or 10,
he was
right?
barely running when he came out in the draft, but now,
I
especially
remember
like
seeing him scramble quite a bit when he was on the Colts.
from what I have of his rushing yards of last year, he averaged 4 rushing yards an attempt, and he only had 62 rushing yards. So he is not a runner by any stretch of the imagination.
Well, what the hell are they doing with this guy then?
And that's why I'm wondering. It's an interesting one. I think that what the Arizona Cardinals are betting on is not somebody who can keep the same style, but more so somebody who can just keep the ship steady. If it should Kyler Murray ever go out, it's not somebody to do more of the same. It's just, you know what, like we'll just throw somebody out there who can get the job done. Just do the job.
Well, congratulations, Randy. He's a good guy. He's a super good guy.
Yeah, I mean, the Cardinals have made some moves here. I'm pretty impressed with. I'm sure we'll talk about it later. But Jacoby Brissett, listen, I'll take that to back up Kyler Murray. I don't know that Kyler's going to get injured this year, but
well, one would hope not.
I mean, if he does, I mean,
so you plan for it.
You have a guy that's has got some starting experience, got some NFL experience, a guy that can lead this team. So good on the Cardinals. Good on the Cardinals. Yeah.
888-368-1580. And I guess just the tip says that he's got nothing to do all day but drink and play golf. Tough life, right?
Oh,
he says, I Uber here, I Uber there, and everyone's safe when I do that. Yeah.
Hello, Mr. Uber. Take me over to the Phoenix Open.
Yeah, just take it easy on your liver, man. We want to have you around for more than a minute. All right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But hey, I'm going to tell you how to live your life. Anyway, I was just that was more of a hopeful suggestion, not as a order. Anyway, let's take a break. We'll come back and let's start it up. Let's talk some NFL free agency. The Cardinals making moves and even more. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part, they accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out collection letters, garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance. And you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it even harder to get out of debt. Don't let tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in taxpayer assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Let them fight on your behalf, helping to put your tax problems to rest. Call the tax professionals at Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-410-6744. 800-410-6744. 800-410-6744.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hey everybody, Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends over at the Lund Mortgage Team. As most of you might know, I'm a big fan of loyalty and longevity. I love companies based right here in Arizona that have been around doing some great things for a long, long time. And oh boy, has the Lund Mortgage Team done just that. In the mortgage game, they're one of the best. In fact, I think they are the best. And I've been telling people about the Lund Mortgage Team for decades now, and I'll continue to do that as long as they continue to take care of all our listeners, and they do that every single day. So you could be next. Call today, 623-875-9940. Look, the Lund Mortgage Team, they're mortgage brokers. That gives them the unique opportunity to shop your rate around. They've also been in business so long, they realize fees are not the most important thing. They keep those nice and low. Call today, 623-875-9940, whether it's a HELOC, whether it's a new home loan, refinance, you name it, they've got you covered. LundMortgage.com or call 623-875-9940.
The Renaissance Festival is back. Weekends now through March 30th. Be ready to have a great time. Amazing adventure awaits the entire family. New shows, shopping, jousting nights, non-stop feasting. Leave your cares behind. Happiness reigns at the Renaissance Festival. It's fun and affordable. You'll love the Renaissance. Visit now through March 30th. Discount tickets available at Bashers' and Food City or online at arizona.redfestinfo.com. Presented by Delta Airlines, Bashers', Food City, Pepsi, Budweiser, and Guinness. Huzzah!
The most important event in sports could happen at any time.
Like right now.
Or right now. Or even now. Don't miss history. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or at 1580thefanatic.com.
Today, the Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. And yes, Mr. Wilbur, it took me a moment as well. Yeah, but it did register. The Phil did say keep the ship together. He did say ship.
Oh, yes, the ship.
With a P. Fish Tank says, can we start the what's worse combo? Daniel Jones with the Colts or Zach Wilson with the Dolphins?
Well, Daniel Jones would be the worst one because he might actually have the effect of being the starter next year. Zach Wilson will only be a break glass of emergency. Tua has that starting
That's
job.
frightening. You're right, because if Zach Wilson walks out onto that field in a meaningful way,
It's already over.
that means Tua is hurt and your season is over. But if Daniel Jones wins a quarterback conversation with Anthony Richardson in camp, well, that just tells you everything you need to know about Anthony Richardson. And then I guess that we're tanking again. Oh, I have a couple more things I want to talk about before we talk the NFL. One more thing. Just one more thing.
All right.
Did you see the video that them girls running the relay? They were running the relay, and this girl like starts to pass this other girl. The other girl just goes, boom, just hits her in the back of the head with her baton and gives her concussion.
What the? No.
Just starts just beating at her. And this happened. This happened. I can't remember when it happened, but this gal just started whooping at her. You know what I realized in this story? I do not know what state this was in. But you see the video of this girl beating on her, and she's all like, oh, I would never hit anyone on purpose. And she says, I was just, I got stuck. What got stuck? I saw her. As
I had
girl
a
walked
cramp
by,
with
look
my
over and go, boom.
I had
It
a
wasn't
cramp in
nothing,
my arm that just had to get released, and
had
it
nothing
just
to do with stride. It had to do with you assaulting. And she says, then she lost her balance and pumped her arms. Yeah, I'm sorry. You did that on purpose. There's absolutely no doubt for anybody.
He ran into my knife. He ran into my knife 3 times.
Oh, it was in Virginia. It was in Virginia.
Oh, they've got a bunch of anger issues over there. Yeah.
At a high school track meet. And so what you should do is I think it's on Complex. If you go or just search baton. I think the video will come right up on baton.
You know what though? This is just an exit from track and relay, but this is the beginning of a very promising roller derby career.
I mean that's probably the only play because
Well,
she got
yeah,
suspended.
yeah.
The other gal got taken to the hospital with a concussion, and so now the abuser, the bonker, I'll call her the bonker. She is crying victim, saying, oh, they're assuming my character, calling me ghetto, racist slurs, death threats, all of this just because of a 9-second video. Well, yeah, in that 9-second, you assaulted somebody with a baton. Now, racist slurs and stuff like that are never appropriate, but it does bear mentioning that the person you bonked was also African-American. So I don't think that was probably the focal point. I think it was you bonking the other girl in the head with a stick.
Yeah.
You're full of crap. Because if anybody watches the video, there's 0% chance anyone can see that video and say, well, I can see how that could happen. No, it's obvious. She looks over after getting past, bonk, takes that girl out.
She hits her with a baton that could be confused with a shish kebab with pineapple on it and meat and chicken.
Those batons are not very heavy. I mean, she would have had to really exacted some sort of a powerful punch on her with that.
She did.
Baton.
Are they not heavy? I mean, back in my day with in high school, those were like full on metal. Like you could, if you dropped it on your
metal, but they were like a flashlight. It's like one of those Magnum flashlights.
What?
Yeah. Well, without batteries in them, but still, you could whack somebody. And obviously, she did because the girl she hit ended up with a concussion.
Oh
Just
boy!
Bam! Right there. That's that ain't good. Do I need to change my thing over, or
you
am I
do?
Okay now.
You very much do.
All right.
But yeah, no, I'm looking at the video right now, Jeffrey. You might have undersold this. Yeah, she gets the good first whack in, and then the second whack, she goes for the windup, has already lost, like it's starting to flail. So had the second hit happened first, she might have a defense because that makes sense. But the first one, there is pure intention. There is an aim.
She looks over, bonk. It was just and it wasn't like going like this, she actually pivots her head and goes, and her arm goes over to the right, bonk, and then she's running straight. So no. No reasonable person can look at this video and say anything other than assault. Period.
Wow.
Yeah, they're doing slow-mo replays. They're doing all this stuff. It is bad. It is, this is just feeling like, there's what? My goodness. This is bonk. Yeah. That is a good sell by the opponent.
Hey, send me a link for that. I'll post it up on the Twitters.
Sure. Question is though, and I'm curious, I don't know how you guys feel, but if this happens in the middle of a thing, so obviously that runner gets disqualified. Does this merit the entire race getting redone? I mean,
well, no, you can't redo it. So neither of these gals were winning this, I don't think.
No, they were like in second and third, somewhere in there.
Yeah, you just disqualify the person that assaulted, and the other girl, she's disqualified because she had to stop, even though it wasn't her fault. So they're just scratched out, and whoever first, second, and third is, that's the race.
Oh man, that sucks for the other girl because she goes off track. She's like recovering. Yeah. She's holding her head.
Yeah,
that's really sad.
Yeah, it is. But she'll live to run again, and the other girl, she's probably never going to be allowed to run again. So. Just the Tip says, if there's batons that didn't hit me in the head,
I think that there's a punchline at the end of that didn't get done that I think we're fine with. I think we're fine without it. Fill in the blank.
Yeah, I don't get it. Wilbur says Moist one always bonks his girlfriend in the head with his stick. What?
Wait.
602 Pats fan says Anthony Richardson's actually decent on Madden. Well, in Madden, you are making decisions for him. In real life, he's making decisions for himself. So there's the difference.
Yeah, you can read the field for him. You can adjust how much throwing velocity you're going to be doing, all that stuff. Yes, of course. And of course he would play well in Madden because as he is on Madden, he is in real life. He's an incredible project. He has all the tools. It's the stuff that you yourself are inputting that is missing from him in real life.
All right. Randy, congratulations.
Thank you.
I feel like your Cardinals are doing pretty well here. I mean, I think they might be overspending.
Stop it.
What do you mean stop it?
What do you mean?
What's wrong with what the Cardinals have done? Let me give you 70 million. Let me just go through the thing. All right. You just got Jacoby Brissett. Don't know anything about that deal, so I can't talk about it. But Josh Sweat is now with you guys, 4-year deal. With the Cardinals, $76.4 million with $41 million guaranteed. I feel like that's expensive.
Why? Why is it expensive?
Didn't you have a guy you could have paid for that?
No, we already paid him. We brought him back too.
Zay Jones is re-signed with the Cardinals.
Yeah.
It's not the guy I'm talking about, but anyway, he's got is this right? Wait a second. Zay Jones. Wide receiver.
Yeah. 1 year.
$4.4 million deal. That's pretty good. That's cheap.
Yeah.
I don't know if he ever catches anything, but there you go.
He's mostly injured. That's why.
Well, he's going to catch some this year. Yeah.
All right. Baron Browning, he's re-signing with the Cardinals.
Yes, that's the guy I was talking about. Baron Browning.
Yeah, 2-year, $15 million thing with $4 million in incentives. I don't know if it's guaranteed.
Edge guy, right? He's an edge guy, right?
Not bad.
Right.
Akeem Davis, Gaitham, he's going to agree to a 2-year deal with the Cardinals. That's a 2-year deal worth up to $11 million.
Yes.
And then on your O-line, you got Evan Brown. You're bringing back Evan Brown. $11.5 million. So
not a bad move, I don't think. Yeah.
So what is your problem with the sign? I feel like it's some pretty good work here. What do you?
I don't have. Oh, you Phil.
Yes,
okay.
Phil's like he just smelled a fart when I said that.
When I look at the entire free agency, I mean, you're saying that they did a good job. Josh Sweat is nice.
Listen, the Cardinals doing anything is usually astounding.
Yes, agree. I suppose. I mean, they're a level above the Cowboys, but somewhere below the Eagles, where the Eagles just constantly make themselves an offseason name because either of what they're doing or how they're maneuvering. So yes, them doing something is nice. Josh Sweat, I like that deal, but other than that, they haven't done much. I mean, like the top 5 moves of the offseason, none of them register with me to the Cardinals. And then once you get to like the 11th move is where I start to be like, oh, you know what, Josh Sweat, could work. The Broncos, I thought, had a tremendous offseason thus far. Obviously, I know people will say that is a bias. I understand. But even if you look at your Colts, Jeffrey, I mean, I like what they've done a lot more than the Cardinals.
I like some of the stuff they've done, except for the Daniel Jones.
That is the big one. That is the big.
Time out.
Randy White, 1580 Fanatic. Yes,
Randy White, 1580 Fanatic. Tell us, Phil, what have the what did you say your team was again?
The Broncos.
No, Broncos. Yeah. Tell us what the Broncos have done.
The Broncos
haven't really come up on the radar, to be honest.
Well, that's because here's the thing. Here's the dirty secret about free agency is usually if you win the headlines in free agency, you usually are doomed. You are doomed because you have signed players that are far too expensive.
Case? We're doomed
yes.
to have picked up a world champion edge rusher. That's one of our needs. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Go ahead. Yes. The Denver Broncos, they signed Dre Greenlaw.
Who?
Yeah, okay, he's not bad.
Yeah, he's not bad. And for a very, very nice price.
Who?
Dre Greenlaw.
What is he?
He's formerly from the 49ers. They also picked
formerly.
Yes. So
okay.
yes.
What does he do?
He has to be formerly, or at least he's not on your team.
Exactly.
What does he do?
He's a pass rusher.
Oh, he's a pass.
Yes,
rusher.
he was the guy.
Okay.
You'll famously remember him, Randy, for the guy who tore his ACL running onto the field on the Super Bowl.
That's
right.
That's
Yeah.
him. That's the guy you got. Okay.
That's not funny.
It's not funny, but now that you left, yeah. And then they also signed a cornerback from the 49ers as well. And then they got rid of their Javonte
We love
Williams.
you some 49er retreads.
You didn't.
Yes, they do. Apparently,
you didn't give me any names though. I mean,
I'm trying to find it. It's there. A lot is happening.
Greenlaw guy that
Wow, that is some stellar work by the Broncos.
Wow,
Hey,
that's overwhelming.
I'll tell you what. I want Greenlaw over Josh Sweat for the contract that they signed.
What?
Yeah, the contract the Cardinals did sign. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
$76.4 million.
It's a bit heavy.
44
That's a bit
million
more than you
guaranteed.
probably wanted to pay Josh Sweat.
For a 27-year-old elite pass rusher.
Yeah, I don't know about
Elite.
See,
24 and a half sacks last season alone.
I'll say this, Randy, and
I'm sorry, he had 8 sacks last year.
Oh, is it 24 and a half in his career then? Is that where I saw the
must
24 and a half?
Yeah, 24 would
Last
be breaking
year,
records.
8 sacks, 9 tackles for a loss, 15 quarterback hits. And then he had 2.5 sacks in a Super Bowl with Philadelphia. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I've said this before.
When Philadelphia
he's good.
won the Super Bowl.
They certainly did. But here's my problem that I have with any. If you are a team that identifies as having a tremendous ability to draft and develop certain players and whatever, a la the Steelers with wide receivers, a la the New England Patriots for the longest time with offensive linemen. If you are the Eagles, they are known for their offensive and defensive line play. Like they draft and develop those two sides of the ball tremendously well. And so if they are giving up on a player, that always fills me with concern, to be quite frank.
Given up on a player, he was free agent. They didn't sign him.
They could have
went out and signed him.
And also,
they could have, but they they didn't, and we did. So
the Eagles' defensive line specifically has so much depth that I wonder if in a starting position where he will have to carry more of the load, he gets tired and is nowhere near as effective as he was with the Eagles.
No, they got Blaze Browning sauce. They got that guy next.
Listen, this 1 hour is done. The number 2 hour is next. We're going to keep it going and talk more about all the stuff in NFL free agency. Stupid Donnie. Is Jeffrey still crying about Danny Dimes? Somebody called the ambulance. I haven't even.
We haven't even.
By
started.
the way, do the Vikings even have a quarterback?
No, not currently.
Have a quarterback. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Point. Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
Oh, I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Hey, you're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at metamucil.com.
Hey everybody, Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends over at the Lund Mortgage Team. As most of you might know, I'm a big fan of loyalty and longevity. I love companies based right here in Arizona that have been around doing some great things for a long, long time. And oh boy, has the Lund Mortgage Team done just that. In the mortgage game, they're one of the best. In fact, I think they are the best. And I've been telling people about the Lund Mortgage Team for decades now, and I'll continue to do that as long as they continue to take care of all our listeners, and they do that every single day. So you could be next. Call today, 623-875-9940. Look, the Lund Mortgage team, they're mortgage brokers. That gives them the unique opportunity to shop your rate around. They've also been in business so long, they realize fees are not the most important thing. They keep those nice and low. Call today, 623-875-9940, whether it's a HELOC, whether it's a new home loan, refinance, you name it, they've got you covered. LundMortgage.com or call 623-875-9940.
What if your limited inventory had unlimited potential? What if your biggest risk was not taking one? What if you could make every move matter? Bank of America's business solutions can help bring your biggest what ifs within reach. Find out how our digital tools, cutting edge insights, and trusted expertise can work for your business. What would you like the power to do? Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank sponsor of FIFA World Cup 2026.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beater, shootout, walk-off, and absolutely every play in between is amazing. From football to basketball and hockey to baseball, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona.
Did you know that vitamins are your partners in health? Not just inside, but outside too? These nutrients are key to our daily well-being. And for anyone who can get pregnant, folic acid is a must for preventing birth defects, helping you have a healthier pregnancy. The Arizona Department of Health Services is offering 3 months of free daily vitamins with folic acid. Power your health inside and out. Get your free vitamins at azdhs.gov/PowerMe A2C.
Sponsored by the Arizona Department of Health Services.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Phil the fill-in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. In the last hour, we just scratched the surface on some of this NFL free agency stuff, laying out all the activity of the Arizona Cardinals. Phil's not impressed. But I feel like they've done some pretty good things here.
It's not bad. It's not.
It's a start.
Yeah, they certainly have not had a bad one. There are teams out there that have had bad off seasons. They are not one of those. I just feel like it's run of the mill. I think it's completely
run
average.
of the mill.
Yes.
Okay. Well, Josh Sweat, I don't think is run of the mill. I think he's still probably one of your top free agents, but I think you overpaid for him. That's the only thing I'm going to say. You overpaid for Josh Sweat.
We'll see.
Then, of course, Mike Holtz embarrassed me today by picking up Daniel Jones on a 1-year, $14 million. You're the backup card, son of a. Don't let him touch the ball.
Jeffrey, you're overreacting. You're too hurt. You're too traumatized.
Okay, I'm done.
Do you know that the Rams re-signed Jimmy Garoppolo? I don't know if you'd rather have him than Daniel Jones, but I'd rather have Daniel Jones. They re-signed Jimmy Garoppolo for 1 year for $11 million. For only
I need a guy who's capable of actually winning games, because I've got another guy who just likes to get injured all the time because he doesn't have enough common sense in his noggin. He's got talent, he's got potential, but he just doesn't have any sense. So Anthony Richardson is going to have a short shelf life in the NFL. And so when you tell me, well, Daniel Jones is there for the competition, or Daniel Jones is here to be a backup, I'm like, no, Daniel Jones is going to start games. And I'm like, honestly thinking I'm just about ready to walk away from this team. Well, it's a horrible thing to do.
I feel like it's not a bad pickup for your Colts, Chupka.
You told me that about Phil Rivers. You told me that about.
But would you rather have Joe Flacco, Phil Rivers, or would you rather have Daniel Jones?
I'd rather have Phil Rivers.
Okay.
No. Here's
why would you rather have Phil Rivers? I'm excited to hear this.
Because he was consistent. He was a decent quarterback. Daniel Jones is just horrible. He's a joke.
But you don't know what he's going to be like behind your offensive line.
Well, my offensive line has had some changes of its own. Some guys have wandered off to the Vikings and other places, and I don't know what my offensive line really completely is right now. I would rather have. Let's go down the list of quarterbacks that we have had in the past. I almost rather have Gardner Minshew than Daniel Jones. I'd almost rather have Flacco. I almost rather have no, not Nick Foles, not Ellinger. Matt Ryan? No, maybe Matt Ryan. I'd rather have Matt Ryan back when he could play. Again, all these guys are retired now, so it doesn't matter.
Carson Wentz.
I don't want Jacoby Brissett.
Carson Wentz.
We don't talk about Carson Wentz. We don't talk about Carson Wentz. I don't want him either. I want none of it. I don't want any of this. It's just like, give me somebody that.
Here's the thing, Jeffrey, is that Daniel Jones is not a good quarterback at $30+ million.
Just stop right there. He's not a good quarterback.
No, that's not true. He's a fine quarterback. I guess the question is, Jeffrey, would you rather, and I'm curious, would you rather have had Daniel Jones on a 1-year prove-it deal
or cut one of my fingers off? I'd rather cut one of my fingers
or
off.
Would you rather have had Justin Fields at 2 years and $40 million?
I'd rather have Justin Fields.
Really? At 40 million?
I don't care about the money. It's not my money. It's Jim Irsay's money.
But it's the team's
We're just talking about what quarterback would I rather have. I would rather have Justin Fields than Daniel Jones.
I feel like they're not looking for a starting quarterback. They're looking for a competition quarterback.
Oh, yeah, a competition quarterback is irrelevant.
Well, I think they're trying to make Anthony Richardson see the big picture here.
Oh, boy. They got him motivated to try to get the job he had already. And so then if he wins, he ends up injured and Daniel Jones starts. If Daniel Jones wins, he starts. No matter what happens, at some point, Daniel Jones is going to start.
Listen, I don't think he's going to start. I don't think he's going to start at all.
Daniel Jones is a good enough quarterback that he got his coach, who was on his side of the ball, to win Offensive Coach of the Year. So he is a quarterback that at least
had nothing to do with Daniel Jones.
It did. Well, one would argue that it had everything.
Do you remember who was running the ball at the time? Do you remember the way that team was built at the time?
I do.
Bill Jackson.
Can't give that to Daniel Jones.
But what you can't, one would argue that it was Brian Daboll being able to have an offense around Daniel Jones. I grant you that. But Daniel Jones, he has a lot of good traits. He certainly has mobility from the quarterback position. He can certainly win you games that there are no expectations on. I think that his ceiling is a second-round playoff game. And that's worth something. That is certainly in something to be worthy of a 1-year deal, 1-year prove-it deal that maybe, Jeffrey, then somebody else deals with him for the long-term contract next year.
Your words right now remind me of something. Your words, Phil, you know when you throw up and you got those little bits and chunks in your mouth and you're like, that's what those remind me of. Your words remind me of the
bits
I need some water. I need some water.
Vomit.
Vomit.
All right.
The dribble, yeah.
Average Joe says, Phil trying to defend that Daniel Jones is a good quarterback. Exactly why he wasn't offered a full-time job. Well, about that. Historian says, if Daniel Jones can survive the Giants and their chaos and confusion, he'll do well with the Colts. It wasn't about, what are you talking about?
You have to afford.
He's not any good. It had nothing to do with what he can or can't survive.
I think Daniel Jones is an unfortunate victim, which is rare, of putting forth too much, of getting too much expectations on where he was. He was drafted higher than he should have in the first round. He was taken to New York and to the absolute media center of the world. And then he was also given an incredible franchise quarterback contract that he was never going to live up to, but his contract demanded it, and he was a quarterback, so it demanded it. I think because of those three things, his expectations were sky high that he was never going to be able to live up to. A 1-year prove-it deal.
Have you watched him play much?
Yes, a 1-year.
I've watched him. He is dead behind the eyes. There's nobody home.
Well, that's the New York Giants.
He's a husk.
New York Giant quarterback syndrome. That's fine.
Fifth letter says breaking news: D-Hop to the Ravens. That's
no
interesting.
Kidding.
That is interesting. What are the Chiefs up to? Fish Tank says, you guys remember when Devontae Adams was talking super trash about Jimmy G on the Raiders, saying he's throwing him hospital balls? Well, they're back in the same team. Yep, that's right. And one Matt Stafford tweak away from a reunion in a real game. You're right, Fish Tank. Devontae Adams is on the Rams along with Jimmy G. So there you go. Yeah, that's another thing that happened today. Devontae Adams signed with the Los Angeles Rams. Big George says, Phil's been spending too much time with Ralph. He's become bona fide Arizona sports team hater. He hates the Suns. He hates the Cardinals. He hates ASU. He hates the Diamondbacks. You don't have anything nice to say, Phil. Don't say nothing at all.
I didn't say hate. I just said you were saying they're having an astounding, historic, all-time Hall of Fame worthy offseason. I'm saying let's cut. It's fine.
Who are you talking about having a Hall of Fame offseason?
They were saying the Cardinals.
No.
I never said Hall of Fame. Nobody said anything like that.
You were saying this will be
etched in
stone.
I said pretty good. I didn't say anything more than pretty good. Donnie says Danny Dimes lost starters to the Vikings. What he means is he was third on the list behind two people on the Vikings. And he says karma. There's no karma on this. Colts have done nothing to your Vikings, and I've done nothing to you, you ugly bonehead. Walter Mellon says, Jeffrey, they're going to call him Indiana Jones.
Actually, that's
I
pretty
hate
good.
that so much.
That's
I hate
good.
that so much. This is the best trade you could have made. It's not. It really isn't.
Also, it's not.
I would rather have a low-level backup behind Anthony Richardson than Danny Dimes. He says it's going to be a breakout year for him. Ugh. Cardinal Art says, Jeffco, you got bigger fish to fry. If Danny Dimes beats out Richardson, all I got to say is love to see it. Yeah, we're hosed, and I told you this last year, at the beginning of last year. We're hosed. We're just hosed, and I want Chris Ballard gone at this point. I want him gone.
I mean,
I'm done with him.
The man can create a great team. He just cannot get the quarterback right whatsoever.
Nope, not even close. It is worse, and it gets worse, and it gets worse. Shooter McGavin says, by the way, Greenlaw, he's a linebacker, not a pass rusher. And Moist One says, yeah, Dre Greenlaw was elite when he was healthy.
Yeah, Dre Greenlaw is a pass rusher from the linebacker. That'd be like saying Micah Parsons is not a pass rusher. He's a linebacker who rushes the passer. It's fine.
Berg says, don't discount Jacoby Brissett as a good mentor to the Cardinals quarterback. Wait, Kyler Murray has been in the league 5 years now?
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be mentorable.
Especially
think
from Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah. Mr. Wilbur says, can I have a quick conversation? Just Randy and I.
Oh.
Randy.
Well, yeah, sure. Yeah.
Pleased about the Cardinals signings so far, and want to let you know that I'm in the process of cooking some burnt ants on the grill.
Burnt ants or ends?
I'm pretty sure he thought he said ends. He's probably using voice text on account of he's blind.
I've been
do you have
meaning
somebody
to try
helping you with the
ants.
grill? I feel like you need supervision for that.
Burnt ends is wonderful. Brisket burnt ends or
Have you
pork
guys
shoulder?
ever tried ants? I've wanted to try ants, but I can't find them anywhere. to
Phil,
eat.
Phil,
Yes,
did somebody include you in this conversation?
that's true. That's true. I'll see myself.
Hey,
out.
we just got our first Cardinals bot.
Hey, Cardinals bot. There we go.
Yeah, this is not a real text. If you are the person who sent this text, then I'd like to hear from you. Cardinals actually making legit free agent signings with elite Josh Sweat and legit backup for Murray and Jacoby Brissett. LFG, Bird Gang. That sounds like a Suns bot, doesn't it?
Look, I don't have a
You
problem.
don't sound real, pal.
I don't have a problem with either of these pickups for the Arizona Cardinals. I don't have a problem with the signings the Cardinals made today, bringing back one of their defensive linemen, bringing back the wide receiver. I have no problem with this. It's better than doing nothing at all, especially when Los Angeles Rams are doing what they're doing. So I have no problem with it. This is an opportunity for the Cardinals to have a fantastic year.
Scratch Me Because wants to know if Radio Ron could trade Ralph for a case of urinal cakes. That's steep. Hefty Lefty says Broncos with huge re-signing yesterday, 3-year deal for a long snapper by the name of Mitch Fabroni. Just about broke the internet, didn't it, Phil?
Hey, you got to win in the trenches.
Jonesy says Phil's just mad because no matter what the Broncos do in the offseason, they'll lose to the Chiefs. NFC West, on the other hand, looks wide open this year.
I don't know what the Chiefs are doing, though. What are
Yeah.
the Chiefs doing?
Yeah,
Yeah, they're up to something.
I mean,
This is
yeah,
They're
weird,
clearing
isn't
some
it?
stuff.
This is
And I
weird.
think it's a cap clear for some of it, and I feel like they might be shooting themselves in the foot a little.
yeah, the Joe Tooney thing. Well, they drafted on the offensive line. They'll probably draft some more on the offensive line. They just needed a clear room for roster spots, and you can't have the number one highest paid guard along with the number two highest paid guard in the league. So that's part of the reason why.
You painted yourself into that corner. Now they gotta crawl out.
Yeah.
Wilbur says it's poor man's burnt and using chuck roast.
Okay, chuck roast. Yeah. Oh, that's good. I hope you soak that very nice. Might I say a Worcestershire sauce and what was the other? Worcestershire. Like a sauce and put some sugar in that and let it sit there and kind of mix it up real good. And then put them in that. And oh my God, they're going to be so nice. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't allow A1 or Worcestershire sauce.
I don't mean to put on your steak. If you do this right, you don't have to. It'll be so damn moist and flavorful.
Yeah, if you're using Worcestershire sauce or A1, you either A, don't know how to cook a steak, or B, you bought the wrong meat. That's all I'm going to say. Just the Tip says, I love Fish Tank. 20 plus years have been in the business of music. He and his band are doing the good work. You're not wrong about that. You're not wrong about the Light Sleepers, the name of the band.
Oh, yeah.
Hefty Lefty and says, and Jeffrey, don't get down too soon on the Colts with their off-season moves. Bears have won the off-season like 3 years straight, and then the actual season starts, and now, well, they're the Bears.
Terrible. Yeah.
I actually do like the Bears offseason this year, though, but it's more so because there's nothing really flashy. Joe Tooney.
I tell you who I like. Commandos. Keon's Commandos have done some work in this offseason.
I like it too.
They've been doing the work all along. I mean, yeah, the Commandos that is a team right there right now.
They're taking the opportunity of their rookie quarterback. That's what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. So Cam Bynum is now on the Colts. That's not too bad. It ain't too bad. It's a 4-year, $60 million deal. And I'm not mad about Cam Bynum. Various Ward, the cornerback, he's now with the Colts on a 3-year deal.
Yeah.
Not that mad about that. That's
a great deal.
pretty good. That is a pretty good deal.
And they re-signed their center.
I'm good with.
Colts re-signed their center. So it doesn't make a lot of the free agency tracker because they didn't re-sign, but yeah.
Wait, which center? Because Ryan Kelly just went to the Vikings.
Oh, I thought they re-signed.
Bill Stevens. Bill Stevens.
They might have re-signed their backup or something, but no, Ryan Kelly has a 2-year deal with the Vikings. He's been injured lately, and I think that he's getting long in the tooth for position. So the Colts are like, hey, listen, he's been with us 9 years. I'm going to miss the guy. I think he's a great guy. He's a great locker room guy. He's just a great all-around guy. But this could be a money thing plus an age thing. And so now he's with the Vikings. And then Will Freeze.
Does he have a high football motor?
No, he's a center. There's no motor for a center.
All right.
But Will Freeze, another guy, he's an interior lineman. He went to the Vikings. So it's like all these Colts players going to the Vikings, and we got one of theirs back, one we didn't want. I don't want Daniel Jones. Anyway, Freeze, he's going over there on an $88 million deal, $44 million guaranteed, and $34 million guaranteed. Well, then I guess why isn't they? Oh, guaranteed and fully guaranteed are two different things, I guess. Bye-bye, guys. I guess, the Vikings liked what they saw and went shopping.
The Colts are one of those teams that they do very well on the offensive line. Like they keep hitting on that in the draft. They develop well. They draft.
Protecting who?
Well, that's the case, right? Like you give
you can't protect Anthony Richardson from himself.
Especially when he runs directly into danger.
Yes.
Yeah. Lowers his shoulder.
Right to the wood chipper.
Exactly. Lowers his shoulder from the quarterback position is never a good recipe in the NFL. Maybe in college, probably in high school, but in the NFL, you are going to get a busted up shoulder, as he has time and time again.
So one of the things we were talking about with the Commandos and what they've done, how didn't they? I don't understand the Texans trading Laramie Tunsil away. I understand the Commandos taking him. But I can't. Why did they trade Laramie Tunsil? I am baffled by this 2-year. They signed him for a couple more years. He's got a base salary of $20.95 million, and the next 2 years, workout bonuses, this and that. So, well, why would the Texans unload Laramie Tunsil?
I think the Texans didn't want to re-sign him for a one of those big extensions for an offensive lineman. They're probably going to go in the draft to get somebody to replace him.
Well, let me help you with that. Here's what the Commanders are giving the Texans: a 2025 third round pick, a 2025 seventh round pick, 2026 second round pick, and a 2026 fourth round pick. I guess they're doing it for the picks. The Texans are looking rebuild, I guess. But rebuild from what?
I don't know that they're going to rebuild. I think they're going to replace Tunsil, who's going to be, he's going to be commanding a top dollar contract.
Yeah, because right now Laramie Tunsil has this year under contract and next year, and that's it. And so you're completely right, Randy. He is probably going to want to re-sign. He's going to want to get an extension and probably be the number one left tackle in all of football contract-wise. Yeah. And right now, enjoying the rookie wage scale for the quarterback position is such a cheat code contractually. So, and I think that the Washington Commanders are going to use take full advantage of that by re-signing Laramie Tunsil. But look, from the Texans side, which is where you're saying
that this is a move the Texans should have made next year, not this year.
Well, the Texans are. It's what is odd is that they are in the same position just a year further in from the Washington Commanders, where their quarterback also is enjoying the rookie wage scale. But I think it's one of those things to where they were given too good of a deal, where their team is pretty much something needs to change. They do have a little bit of depth in that position. The Commanders are desperate, right? Like that was amongst their biggest need was that they needed to beef up on the offensive line, especially when you're in division with the Philadelphia Eagles, who you see at least twice a year.
Listen, like I said, I understand the Commanders side.
Right. But the Texans specifically, I think when you look at the compensation, like even what they had to give up to get Tunsil in the first place, I could argue that this is a better package 3 years removed from when you originally got Tunsil, and now you get a better package. You don't have to pay him top of the market money. You've already drafted and addressed the need kind of ahead of time. Mm-hmm. You have a full draft to now address it now. I think that's part of the reason why is that it's one of those things where, would you rather have Tunsil? Yes. But in exchange for what? Okay, fine, I will. Kind of like the Lakers. Yeah.
What you're going to say?
Sorry, kind of like the Lakers with Anthony Davis, where it's like they have Anthony Davis. Yes, before the trade, you'd be like, yeah, of course, we're keeping Anthony Davis. There's no, oh wait, that's what you're offering me? Okay, we'll get rid of it.
Robert from Surprise says, yeah, I think Bronny James is available. Everybody, I don't want to talk about the Colts anymore. We're done talking about the Colts. We're going to move on. So much stuff happening in the NFL free agency. We'll keep talking about it. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
As a fan, you know all the important sports cliches. And when you save money by bundling your home and auto with Progressive, you can get out there and give it 110%, even though that's mathematically impossible. And remember, failure is not an option. Well, it's always an option, just not a good one. But you're not worried because you've got ice in your veins. You're on fire. How can both of those things be true at the same time? Well, that's between you and your doctor. So get out there and leave it all on the field. Leave what? Who cares? Just leave it and save with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, other insurers, not available in all states or situations.
The madness is here. The excitement, the upsets, and the thrill of the game. But when it comes to the game of life, don't let the unexpected leave you on the sidelines. Set a game plan this March to protect your loved ones with life insurance. I turned to SelectQuote to secure our coverage and couldn't believe how easy and affordable it was. I'm 40, and my $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. My wife's also 40, and her $500,000 policy was only $16 a month. Plus, with her same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Be the MVP of your family this month by protecting their future. Some policies are less than $1 a day.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-862-1122. That's 1-800-862-1122. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-862-1122. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Let's say you've got questions. You're looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Well, Harman Solar has the answers. Hi, I'm Jeffrey O'Brien, and listen, there's a couple of ways you can go here. One, visit harmonsolar.com, browse around, because right across the page, they got links to all sorts of great information, like frequently asked questions, equipment, tax credits, even testimonials. Or just give them a call, 800-281-3189. Ask them directly. They'd love to hear from you. That's 800-281-3189. Or just go to harmonsolar.com.
Driving high can get you a DUI. Instead of getting behind the wheel, designate a sober driver or rideshare. In Arizona, drug-impaired driving is illegal, even if the drug is legal. So drive sober or not at all. In Arizona, there's zero tolerance for impaired driving, since drugs slow your reaction time and cloud your judgment. If you feel different, you drive different. Visit drivesober.az.gov to learn more. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
The Rich Eisen Show.
Seattle's remaking. They're remaking, and they're going to go to run first, throw off of the run. And if you got Sam Darnold there pulling the trigger, and you hope that last year wasn't an outlier, that Sam's all grown up, and you go to work with him, I imagine that's what it is. Kenneth Walker and the rest of the running game and that offensive line and the defense that they're building there, that seems to be their plan up in the Pacific Northwest.
The Rich Eisen Show. Weekdays at 9 a.m. on 1580. The Fanatic.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Very busy day one. Well, not day one. What is this, day two? It is day two
Day
of the
two,
NFL
yeah.
open season, duck hunting season? Is it
this
rabbit
is
hunting
not,
season?
This is not
Duck
open
hunting?
season.
Rabbit
This is legal tampering season.
You can tamper with things
And
legally.
then tomorrow
Wait, I
is
thought
the,
that had already passed.
Oh no,
No,
this is
no,
tomorrow's the actual thing?
Tomorrow's the actual day. Yeah.
This is dumb as hell. I hate how they do this.
I know, this is stupid.
Isn't it amazing that day one of legal tampering, the first day that you can talk with other free agents, just immediately there's a contract waiting for them right there. It's almost like there's a legal tampering happening before the legal tampering. Interesting.
Possibly conversations have been had.
Possibly.
Okay. So lots and lots and lots of stuff has happened and is happening. Here's something that's good. I'll comment on. Big George has been filling me in. He says, "Yeah, ASU just tied up the game, 19-19, in the beginning of the Big 12 tournament game. So ASU hanging in there with Kansas.
19-19.
Yeah, 19-19.
Really?
So we'll keep an eye on that for you guys as well. Let's see. T-Licious says, if you're packing fresh lumber over the first 2 days of free agency, your team sucks, or you don't understand how to build a team properly. Well, I just don't like what I just okay. Only thing I really care about is the fact that I just got loaded down with Daniel Jones. Ugh.
Yeah, no, the rest of your moves, I think that you've even said, Jeffrey, that you're like, okay, I like that. I'm pretty happy about that. Pretty happy.
Can I ask what packing fresh lumber means?
If you have no, not that. If you have money to
All that
burn,
means you got a big old
yeah. If
loading.
you have the ammunition to go big free agent hunting, then chances are you are that way because you are a bad team. You have nobody on your own
What
team
Randy
to spend
wanted
that
to
money.
know is the definition of packing the lumber.
What is the meaning
Fresh
of
lumber?
I think it just means that like if you are like an Amish person and then you went fresh to market and you pack the lumber and then you're on your way back. So if you are packing lumber, you are ready to go. You are ready to build a barn.
I think that's what that means.
I'm pretty sure that's what that means. Back in the 1800s.
Pretty sure
Wow.
it meant what I meant, but whatever. Mr. Wilbur says Phil would have the loser Dallas Cowboys. What have the loser Dallas Cowboys done?
They haven't done
Well,
Not
what
much.
what have they done? Nothing. They have
Yeah.
re-signed. They have their big move thus far has been re-signing a
And-
kickoff return specialist of their own team.
Yeah, and they made him the highest paid kickoff return specialist in the league.
Yeah, no, the Dallas Cowboys are just a joke right now. We have entered the final days of Al Davis on the Raiders. If we all remember what those days were,
Yeah.
it was just non-coherent. awful infatuations with your own players. It's abysmal, and you hate to see it. And hopefully, it doesn't fully tarnish the legacy of Jerry Jones and what he's accomplished in his illustrious NFL career. But it is bad. It is a bad situation to be a part of, and I actually feel a little sorry for any Dallas Cowboy fan right now.
I was just about to go there. I mean, but Jeffrey, they haven't made a move for 11 on their defense yet. They have not made a move to sign.
It's been noticed.
Their defensive juggernaut, if as it were, and they signed a special teams guy. I mean,
they are going to be very slow to do anything, and that's the MO. That's just the way they do.
Isn't that sad though? Isn't it sad?
It is, but not really, because if you don't like them, what do you care?
And Randy, also, it's the situation that they put themselves in. They are at fault for this. There is not a contract on their that is currently of the top 3 positions where they need to address it. There is not a single contract that they have addressed early. Like, yes, you love your own homegrown talent. Fantastic. Then sign them early. That's the advantage you have towards having talent. If you wait till the last minute, you're going to be paying last minute prices.
I mean, here's the situation when the Cowboys go out for a training camp at Thousand Palms there in LA. If I'm Micah Parsons, I'm nowhere near the practice field. I am not saying a word. Everything that has to be said is going through my agent, and that's the end of that. And even on my podcast, I don't say a damn thing about it. I mean, I know Micah Parsons probably won't do that, but it seems to me that's what gets Jerry's attention the most, is if you don't show up and you're due to have this enormous payday and he doesn't, Micah Parsons doesn't show up and doesn't say a word about it. And then all of a sudden, all this money seems to come from nowhere.
Well, also realize that anybody who's on the Dallas Cowboys understands the Dallas Cowboys, and I am sure his agent is working the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
so
sure.
It might be quiet to us, but I don't think it's going to be very quiet there. Hefty Lefty says stacking lumber is what I do at the all-you-can-eat Korean barbecue restaurant. Afterwards, in the bathroom, I call it Rolling Thunder. Cardinal Art says, hey, at least the Cowgirls have the richest special teams player ever, huh?
Well,
Glory Holt Jarrah is diabolical.
He is, yeah.
Wilbur says the Cowboys' only advantage is they have $2 billion training facility in Dallas, and that's the only incentive these guys have, is to go to that Taj Mahal of a training camp or facility.
I mean, their training camp and facility in Texas there is elite. Their playing facility is elite. Their training staff is elite. They have all the best of everything. And then they've got a numbskull as a GM and owner, and he doesn't want to get the right players in there.
Anybody who can't stand the Cowboys, be happy. Don't try to understand it. You do understand it. It's Jerry, and that's it. Going on with your life. Not another one. So another Colts guy, Deo Odiengumbo. He's now with the Bears. He's moved on with the Bears. Great. Okay, just moving on. Khalil Mack is going to stay with the Chargers on a 1-year deal, $18 million, fully guaranteed. Is that steep for Khalil Mack at this point?
He's still producing. He is still producing.
Is he still producing?
Yeah. Now, granted, whenever you look at his stats,
11 years in, man.
Yeah. But what do you get when you sign Khalil Mack? Because if you look at last year, you'll see he has a fair amount of sacks, but 4 of those came in the first game of the year, I believe. It was one game, I believe it was the first game of the year. But even that being said, what you get when you sign Khalil Mack is his ability to stop the run. Like he's the rare pass rusher who is just really incredibly stout on stopping the run all by himself. That's what you're getting. So yes, he is definitely stout. He is definitely somebody who has really taken an identity with the Los Angeles Chargers, and he's somebody that you can definitely identify with if you're Jim Harbaugh, because he represents all that hard-nosed football. Definitely somebody who has that mentality, somebody who definitely is a defensive first, nose to the grindstone guy.
All right. Well, Khalil Mack ain't going nowhere, so don't even think about it. Old Andy Reid was talking about the Joe Thuney trade, and he's like, yeah, he was one of my favorite all-time guys that I've ever coached. And he says the human part of it, he's just a good dude. And that's the part of this. It's hard on everybody, really. The players, get attached to players. Kittle was not too happy about Jusic being sent away from the 49ers.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, multiply these stories by a bunch of different guys, right? I mean, everybody makes friends, everybody leaves a mark. And then when you change things up, now you got to start over with some new guys. It's not easy. I mean, listen, I know the next thing you're going to say is, well, with all that money, who cares? But it's all relative, man. It's relative. I mean, it really affected George Kittle, because, he's a good guy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you even see this in the NBA where they make more money. Look, Damian Lillard, his first year in Milwaukee, he had a lot of personal stuff going on. Obviously, Portland, he was heavily identified with Portland, will probably have his own statue outside of Portland when it's all said and done. Was also going through a divorce. I mean, all that stuff, all that stuff really hits you. I mean, it's impossible. Yes, at the end of the day, they are an athlete. Yes, at the end of the day, they're making tons of money, millions of dollars. It's still going to hit you. You're still human. At some point, you just have to understand that we're all going through the same stuff. Just some people wear helmets.
So Sam Darnold, let's go. I'm going to go down the list of quarterbacks now. Sam Darnold, as everybody knows, has got his 3-year deal with the Seahawks.
I'm shocked.
That just tells me the Seahawks want to win some games, but not the important ones.
I'm surprised that Sam Darnold left for 3 years. I thought if he was going to leave the Vikings, because this wasn't astronomical money. I thought that if he was going to leave the Vikings, it would be for like a 4-year deal. Minimum.
Yeah, but he's got $100 million on the deal he has. So still, for Sam Darnold, when there was some question marks and cracks in the whole situation, I think this was the best he could do, honestly.
I feel like Minnesota got what they could out of Sam Darnold.
Yes.
They were moving on from him. It was obvious to Sam Darnold. It was obvious to Sam Darnold's people. And so they looked at what they could do next, and they end up with the Seahawks. And that's good for the NFC West. And we'll just go up and we'll sweep them this year.
To your point, Randy, I think it's very telling that it was the last available suitor to Sam Darnold that got him. It wasn't the Raiders. Yes, because the Seattle Seahawks did not need him until they were the last team to have an availability at quarterback, and they're the first ones to sign Sam Darnold. I think a lot of teams around the NFL were saying, you know what? I actually believe a lot in Kevin O'Connell, and I wonder if Sam Darnold is a result of only Kevin O'Connell.
Maybe.
We don't have a Kevin O'Connell on staff. Can we get that same production out of him?
Mm-hmm.
Kyle G says, I told you Friday Darnold was going to Seattle. I get these things right once in a blue moon. Yes, you did. That is absolutely correct. I'm looking right at it. Cardinal Art says that Jera makes money off of them while the fans watch them train on the Jera World Tour. Swave Dave says Jerry Jones spared no expense. And now the text line is broken.
What?
I can't click on it. It's not letting me click on it. Here it is. And he says, now the dinosaurs roam and rule the jungle. Oh, Moist one says the Seahawks offensive coordinator helped Darnold with the 49ers.
Yeah, so there's a connection. That's good.
Wilbur says, has it already been asked? Who's going to be the quarterback for the Vikings? And please don't tell me one-legged man or rookie from Michigan. Well, let's just take a moment with that question because Sam Darnold is no longer an option. J.J. McCarthy is there. You would expect he'll be ready to go. And after that, I don't know. They don't really have anybody. I mean, we don't even know if J.J. McCarthy is going to be any good.
Yeah, I mean, the question becomes whether or not J.J. McCarthy can start at the beginning of the year. If he can't, then I think that maybe it allures a quarterback a la Aaron Rodgers. I mean, that kind of makes sense where if you're like, hey, we still want to make sure that J.J. McCarthy, this is a guy that we have 10 years invested in plus for a career, not just this one. Let's not be nearsighted and everything else. So I wonder, Jameis Winston, maybe somebody that the Minnesota Vikings could bring in to be a bridge quarterback in between him and when J.J. McCarthy can be healthy. That wonder, Mac Jones. I mean, there's not really good options once you get beyond everybody else. Joe Flacco, maybe. Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is probably somebody that not a lot of people would think of initially off the top of their head, but it makes a lot of sense once you put a little bit of thought into it.
You won't get Aaron Rodgers on the Vikings. The word on the street is that they're looking at the Steelers. If they haven't announced it already, they were thinking that that would be the next thing. Question is, how much? How much can he expect? How much will he accept? But yeah, that was the rumblings. Was Aaron Rodgers goes to the Steelers? But you're right, Kyle G. Going to the Vikings would make sense, and his destiny would be fulfilled, a la Brett Favre. But right now, unless somebody's heard something about it, still no word on the Aaron Rodgers thing. You know, Josh Allen is going to stick around with the Bills. He's got a new record $250 million deal. Well, they loved it and they put a ring on it, huh?
Yeah. Him and Hailey Steinfeld. They, rings are abound in Josh Allen's world. Yeah, no, it makes sense. This is, I mean, just like Patrick Mahomes. Whenever you got a franchise quarterback, whenever you got a no doubt about it top quarterback, the earlier the better. That's really how business is being done. $50 million per year now. Remember when Patrick Mahomes got $50 million a year for 10 years?
He's getting 55.
Yeah,
55.
Yeah.
He's tied with Dak Prescott for the most money on a year if the numbers are correct as reported.
Correct. Yes. And so when we look at that, that's going to be very expensive this upcoming year. Even in 2 years, that won't be nearly as bad. And then it gets watered down as you go. You restructure, you move it around. It's just getting a head start on the whole process, because the number one building block towards building a team in the current NFL iteration is making sure that you can build a team around whatever the cap number is for the quarterback. So if you just get to it earlier than anybody else, you then are the one setting the market, and then eventually it becomes a deal.
Well, Josh Allen, MVP. He's made historic numbers. He's done great for the Bills. I can't say that. I can't say he doesn't deserve it for sure. So, says they'll not great. They'll need a better option for sure. Huh? Oh, then Brett Rippon at quarterback, Vikings.
Yeah, no. One would wonder whether or not they'd even maybe draft a quarterback in the 5th round or something like that.
Rippon is he's like a UFL quarterback.
Yeah.
Deflated Balls says, I believe Daniel Jones is on the Vikings roster. Well, no,
not anymore.
He just got traded to the Colts.
Well, not got traded.
Joke. I wish it was a joke. I wish that was a joke. Wilbur says, Phil is right. A bridge over troubled waters is who the Vikings quarterback will be.
I think he was talking about Teddy Bridgewater, maybe, but I don't know.
Yeah. We got to take a break. We'll come back. More quarterbacks and stuff. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beater, shootout, walk-off, and absolutely every play in between is amazing. From football to basketball and hockey to baseball, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 12+ only. Must be physically located in Arizona.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-791-1313. That's 800-791-1313.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Hey guys, Jeffrey O'Brien here. Did you know Harman Solar has gone super high tech? There's an amazing tool at harmansolar.com that'll give you an instant ballpark solar estimate using satellites from space. You just type in a little information, and within seconds, you'll have an idea of just how little money it takes to save big on that monthly electric bill. I did it, and within seconds, they measured my roof and calculated my savings. It's very impressive. Go to harmansolar.com and give it a try yourself. That's harmansolar.com.
The madness is here. The excitement, the upsets, and the thrill of the game. But when it comes to the game of life, don't let the unexpected leave you on the sidelines. Set a game plan this March to protect your loved ones with life insurance. I turned to SelectQuote to secure our coverage and couldn't believe how easy and affordable it was. I'm 40, and my $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. My wife's also 40, and her $500,000 policy was only $16 a month. Plus, with their same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Be the MVP of your family this month by protecting their future. Some policies are less than $1 a day.
Call Select Quote at 1-800-862-1122. That's 1-800-862-1122. Or go to selectquote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-862-1122. Details on example rate at selectquote.com.
Think you can handle a few drinks and still drive safely? Think again. Buzzed driving is drunk driving, and drunk driving can land you in serious trouble. In Arizona, there's zero tolerance for impaired driving. Even one drink can cost you thousands in fines and legal fees. Plus, take away your driver's license. So plan ahead. Use a designated driver or rideshare. Get the facts at drivesober.az.gov. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Download the Fanatic app.
News, scores, social media updates, and more on your smartphone, on your tablet. The free Fanatic app, available at the Google Play Store or the App Store and at 1580thefanatic.com.
Dave Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Yeah, I would. I would have rather had Justin Fields over Daniel Jones for sure.
You can't do that when you have a drafted quarterback though behind him. I mean, it was a question, but
Well, then talk about two quarterbacks who play similarly.
Let me look.
Average Joe says Colts signed Daniel Jones just so they can tell Aaron Rodgers, "Oh, sorry, we don't have room over here for you."
Actually,
If that was the reason, I'd be okay with it.
Actually, I was about to say, Aaron Rodgers. Does that do anything for you?
No.
So you would rather have Daniel Jones over Aaron Rodgers?
No, I don't want either of them. Equally do not want either of them for different reasons. Slave Dave says, just you wait, Jeffrey. Daniel Jones will be the next Sam Darnold. He'll take the Colts to the playoffs this year. No, he won't. He really won't. Moist One says, Geno Smith was asking for $45 million a year in extension, and Seahawks felt it was time to let him go at that point. Get Darnold for $12 million a year or less. He's younger, outperformed Geno last year. So swap guys out, got a third-round pick. Don't mind the move. I haven't signed. They haven't signed any O-line yet, though, and that does bug me. Well, you're still in the thick of it, Moist One. Still in the thick of it. But back to Justin Fields. He is now a New York Jet. Poor guy. I just feel bad for him.
2 years, $40 million. It makes sense for both
$30
sides.
million guaranteed. So at least he walks away with some money.
Yes, absolutely. And honestly, I think that there are worse spots that he could have landed. He lands in a place where he has a number one wide receiver, a verified.
How's the O-line?
The O-line did lose some depth. Moses, their tackle Moses Morgan, I believe, left for the New England Patriots. That is worrisome. They did draft a left tackle last year, so they do feel like they have a replacement there. They'll probably attack that again in the draft this year. It's not the best. I don't think it's the worst.
I would have loved to have him. Remember, see, people have short memories. When he was starting for the Steelers, he was doing fine. He was 4-2. He was doing pretty good. I think they cut bait on him too quickly. But well, they had to go with Russ Wilson. I mean, after they did go with Russ Wilson, you're like, okay, well, yeah, now that's why. Yeah. But still, Justin Fields has, I think, and I've been pro Justin Fields even back when he was on the Bears. It was more like, well, let's just wait and see. Let's just wait and see. And he has gotten better and he has developed, and there's still more that he can. And I think, as long as the Jets have pretty solid foundation, you should see him start to blossom, or he will die miserably.
No, I agree with you. I think that he certainly has a lot of potential. I also was on that train. I think he's very tantalizing. I mean, even when he came out of the draft, I was wanting the Denver Broncos to draft him.
I never said tantalizing.
Well, no. I agree with you that he is a very delicious looking man.
I never ever said delicious
as a prospect. He's salivating worthy.
No, there's no
I understand what you're saying, Jeffrey. The heart of what you're saying. I agree. But I will say that that 4-2, if you look back on it, it's a great number. You look back on it, the 4 made sense on who he beat, and the 2, one of those 2 was the Cowboys. I forget who the other one was. It wasn't like, I think it was maybe the Chiefs. I think so. You're 1-1 of like, oh, Chiefs make sense that you lost to them. Cowboys,
The Cowboys
not so much.
defense weren't completely dismal. The offense was a bit
Well, but that was
scattered.
That was with Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, anyway, so Justin Fields no longer an option for anybody.
Right. Maybe starting something up there in New York. Maybe.
Can't tell you. Here's one quarterback, transaction made me kind of chuckle and smile. The Browns traded for Kenny Pickett. Can you believe they actually traded for Kenny Pickett?
Jeffrey,
they're giving Dorian Thompson Robinson
DTF.
back and a 2025 fifth-round pick in exchange for Pickett.
That is the rare trade where you aren't looking for who won the trade. You're looking for who lost that trade. Like who is the team that made out worse in this trade?
The Browns.
I guess. Yeah.
The Browns gave up a pick and Dorian Thompson Robinson. We already know what Pickett is. I'm baffled by this move.
Well, DTF is an awful quarterback. His hands are far, like you're trading one small
I wasn't talking about him. I'm talking about the pick.
I know, but I'm saying, and even the pick. I mean, I get it. But here's the thing for Kenny Pickett. I would be more outraged if I thought that this was a starting quarterback, and it may be. I mean, I guess with the number 2 overall pick, they can force the matter and take whichever quarterback lands to them. But in lieu of that, unless Kenny Pickett starts, if Kenny Pickett starts, then this is just a travesty. That this was the best that you could do.
Slave Dave, that's a good question. He says, of all the quarterbacks that have shifted teams already and will be starters, who do you think will be the most productive next year? At first glance, I'm thinking Sam Darnold.
Who would be the most productive and lead their team to more wins?
Right. Now, keep in mind that have shifted teams. Now,
Right.
Derek Carr, he's re-signed. Some of these guys have re-signed. So I feel like Sam Darnold or Justin Fields at this point.
I was going to say those seem to be the two. Aaron Rodgers would be a sneaky contender. He hasn't moved as of yet.
He may not even go on a team. Here's what the thing is. Teams are looking at this guy and they're like, well, I'll tell you what, if there's an injury, maybe we'll call this guy. And if I don't think Aaron Rodgers' ego could take that. So if he doesn't end up on a team, I'd say by the time of the draft, if you have no Aaron Rodgers, it's somewhere in that week around that, he's just gonna pout and say, well, I guess I'm not playing this year, because he's not gonna come and save the day because somebody got injured. He thinks he's too good for that.
Right. I'll tell you who I would like bet on, because I'll probably get value on if I had to do this. I think it will be Daniel Jones, Jeffrey. Because here's the thing: if you just look at each quarterback, where they are, I'm not saying that it's necessarily even going to be an astounding record, but they are in an awful division. Not only they're in the better conference to start in a new place, but I mean, you look at Sam Darnold. That division is still stacked. That division still has a lot of competition.
I still believe he will do better than Daniel Jones. He'll do better than
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields. Although Justin
Fields, that division is kind of has a chance. I think that he would probably be the odds-on favorite. But for me, Daniel Jones, I think, has a lot of potential. He's got a great head coach. I know you're iffy on your head coach. I like your head coach, at least from an offensive coordinator perspective.
I don't know.
Give him a chance, Jeffrey. Give him a chance.
He's been here for a couple of years, and I'm just like, okay.
It's a 1-year deal. Like honestly, even if it's an absolute failure, you have the pull out of emergency core that it's just the 1 year. I'd really think that this was a low risk move that you're really overvaluing.
So here's the update. Kansas State has gone ahead of ASU. They're at halftime right now, 38-31. So on the bright side, Sun Devils still in it. On the not so bright side, Sun Devils currently losing.
Yeah.
So there you go.
More of the same.
Oh, I knew. Oh, wow. Tiger Woods, I guess, had a ruptured Achilles.
He did.
Had a little surgery today for it.
Yeah, I wonder.
Is that on the bum leg?
I don't know. I just kind of like went past it. I don't know if it has anything to do with him working in that league that he's a part of. I don't know what the details are, but he hasn't competed in a PGA Tour this season, and it was mostly attributed to the death of his mom. But
so it was on his left leg, but the serious injury was in his right. So then you wonder, is it possibly because of working the left
when you
harder than the
overcompensate?
right?
Yeah, I don't know.
But you're golfing, so how are you? You know what I'm saying? It's not really football.
Yeah, but no, the difference is Tiger Woods, though. He he kind of like, whenever you look at the person who ushers in a new era of anything, Tiger Woods, what he ushered in was that absolute demolishing of training. Before him, there was just a bunch of, dad bod guys out there playing golf, doing what they could. He was the first guy that he was like out there training with Navy SEALs, Jeffrey. He
broke his body doing it.
He did. He certainly did. But it came at the, look at what it gave him. My goodness.
Mm-hmm. Moist One says they told Myles Garrett they were going to bring in a Super Bowl winning quarterback. They lied.
No. Kenny Pickett does have a Super Bowl win, Jeffrey.
Okay, Super Bowl winning, not Super Bowl
winner,
backup quarterback. Well, whatever the case, that was a good question, Swave Dave. Anyways, more quarterback stuff for you. Derek Carr staying in New Orleans. They restructured his deal, and Kellen Moore says, we feel comfortable in Derek Carr and confident he can have success. That's a guy who just took a job and is like, I guess this is what we're doing. Okay, sure. Okay. Yay.
Yeah, year one of this rebuild for the Saints is going to be awful. And it needs to be. I mean, all these restructurings that they did, they needed to. They were an absurd amount over. They were at a historical level over the cap. And again, the question becomes, for what? Where are the results for all that trouble? Nowhere.
Kellen Moore, this is going to be interesting. See if he can do anything with Derek Carr.
Yeah, he's been somebody that has had a lot of run of in the rumor mills for head coaches. This will be interesting. This is certainly a challenge. It's a big challenge. I thought it was an interesting position that he took this job because I thought he could do better. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I think year 2 and on will be where we can officially judge him, but we'll see.
That's could have done better. Also makes you think about how the Rams keep Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah,
I don't know why
I
they
have
did that.
no idea. That feels like a wasted $11 million for a team that could use every single penny.
They just get we just got to keep him around. Why? He gets the other guy's girls. Maybe that's it. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't even know about the money. I don't know anything about
I'd trust like a 4th round throw of the dart quarterback rather than Jimmy Garoppolo, but okay.
How about the Jaguars taking Nick Mullins from the Vikings? $6.5 million deal, $3 million's guaranteed. Okay.
I've never been I've always seen Nick Mullins more so as a product of Kyle Shanahan and being in that system, and that has given him a lot of run. Blessed be to him that he keeps getting opportunities. Great job for him. Doesn't do much for me. I mean, that really is just a backup quarterback signing, though.
You want me to hold the clipboard straight up, or do you want me to hold it out like this? How do you want me to hold it? Like here or like this?
Like this, Trevor.
This or this? Well, down, of course. Why? Because his hair. He likes it when his hair just kind of hits the top of it. If it's like this, it might get caught in the hinges of the clipboard. So, Nick, hold it like this. That was his entire training camp right there in a nutshell. Oh, and the hairless Josh Dobbs, he is now with the Patriots as a backup, presumably. And
that fits. Doesn't that fit? Doesn't that make whenever you think of player to brand, whenever you think of smart, whenever you think of just bald wonder, all that fits into New England.
I already forgot. Who's the Patriots quarterback now?
Drake May.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Boy, what are the oh, that's right. They got a draft. We still have a draft ahead of us. I keep forgetting that part.
Yes.
And the Patriots. So, good God, what are they going to do? Would they take a quarterback right in front of Drake May's face?
No. They're sticking around with Drake May. Drake May was part of the incentive package that brought along Mike Vrabel. Yeah, they believe in Drake May, and I do too. I don't know how well, but I believe that he's a franchise quarterback.
I'm sure it means the world to them, Phil.
Of course they should. My endorsement is warranted in this case, but it is selective. It is restrictive.
Josh Dobbs, backup quarterback. I guess you could do worse. It's just he's not been great.
A lot of the time, that's the best position in the entire NFL, Jeffrey. You get paid quarterback money and not having to do much of the work. Look at Jimmy Garoppolo. That's a great position to be in. He gets to live in LA, make $11 million, and never have to work.
Well, I have no idea what Josh Dobbs is getting and also don't care. So, listen, hour 3 is next. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beater, shootout, walk-off, and absolutely every play in between is amazing. From football to basketball and hockey to baseball, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona.
As a fan, you know all the important sports cliches. And when you save money by bundling your home and auto with Progressive, you can get out there and give it 110%, even though that's mathematically impossible. And remember, failure is not an option. Well, it's always an option, just not a good one. But you're not worried because you've got ice in your veins. You're on fire. How can both of those things be true at the same time? Well, that's between you and your doctor. So get out there and leave it all on the field. Leave what? Who cares? Just leave it and save with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates, other insurers, not available in all states or situations.
Hungry for something exciting? Then come experience what's new at Kasai Japanese Steakhouse with 2 Valley locations. No one does Asian-inspired cuisine better or more authentic than Kasai, where talented teppanyaki chefs create the food, the fire, and the fun of teppanyaki. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse, it isn't just dinner, it's dinnertainment. A memorable dining experience where a delicious 7-course meal is prepared right at your table with flair. It's the perfect choice for celebrations, date nights, or a night on the town. Choose from over 30 different items and combinations of teppanyaki, Asian fusion, and innovative sushi. Happy hour is always on fire with their daily specials. Try their new $12 bar menu items, Wagyu beef and Mongolian pork sliders, chicken or beef satay, and 3 delicious flavors of chicken karaage. 2025 is on fire at Kasai with 2 locations, Scottsdale Road and Thunderbird, and now open in Peoria at the 101 in Northern. Go to KasaiTeppen.com. That's KASAI Teppen.com or search Kasai on your mobile phone.
What if your limited inventory had unlimited potential? What if your biggest risk was not taking one? What if you could make every move matter? Bank of America's business solutions can help bring your biggest what-ifs within reach. Find out how our digital tools, cutting-edge insights, and trusted expertise can work for your business. What would you like the power to do? Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank sponsor of FIFA World Cup 2026.
There are thousands of career paths your child can pursue, and costs come along the way. I'm Arizona State Treasurer Kimberly Yee, encouraging Arizonans to open an AZ 529 education savings plan. Plans can be used for college, trade school, and education expenses. Unused funds can be rolled into a retirement Roth IRA. Prepare now for wherever their dreams take them. Visit az529.gov.
There's a lifetime Roth IRA rollover limit of $35,000, sponsored by the Office of the Arizona State Treasurer.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
Quiet, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
For what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. Excuse me, that was not a problem with my system. That was my actual throat. Hey, everybody, I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Phil to fill in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And dealing with all this NFL free agency stuff, things are happening even as we speak. We'll try to keep you up to date on all the new things, but also Arizona State University is currently in battle against Kansas State. Well, they're at halftime. They'll be back at battle here soon. And then, other things. Oh, my God, Randy. Randy White, Grill Master General, the man who knows a thing or two about working a grill, working a smoker.
Okay.
Now, I am pretty dang good on the grill. Randy is like Michelangelo.
Well,
Randy is like Picasso. Randy is an amazing grill artiste.
Okay. Thank you. All right.
But I got to know.
Yeah.
Have you tried to boil your eggs on a grill?
No.
Now you can't. It's not
I'm
boiled,
sorry,
but
what?
you know how you boil eggs in the water?
Yeah, hard boiled eggs. Yeah.
You can grill hard boil your eggs. I think we just call them grill boiled.
Okay.
What you do is here's what it is. I'm going to try this as soon as I can afford eggs. You preheat your grill to a medium heat. I'm going to put mine at 400, and then place the eggs directly on the grates.
Yeah. Oh.
And you cook for between 7 and 14 minutes, and you do a turn. A quarter turn every 4 minutes.
Wow.
After that, you put them into an ice bath, and that'll stop the cooking process.
Huh.
And it makes it easier to peel.
Did you say
I'm
an
gonna
ice
try
bath
this.
or a nice bath?
Now,
ice. I said ice. Ice.
I can go buy a bath
ice,
bomb.
ice, baby.
Ding, 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 ding.
Miss Kim does not. She when she makes the hard boiled eggs, she puts them in the Ninja
air fryer.
What do you call that? The air fryer pressure cooker thing.
Oh yeah, okay.
I'm not talking about air fryers. I'm talking about a grill.
No, I know
a
that.
manly grill.
Don't know why I have to manly grill my my eggs.
You don't have to do anything. I'm looking forward to doing this. You can do it if you want. You don't have to, or even put them in the smoker, and some of that smoky goodness will probably penetrate the shell. And
Really?
yeah.
Okay. All right.
You get some smoky eggs.
You know, I when I bought my grill, and I bought the Pit Boss grill because it came with a griddle. I take the grill, some of the grates out.
Have you ever used it?
And
for
the griddle goes in there,
bacon or
and
eggs?
and you can I've done bacon in there. Oh my God, yes, yeah.
In the smoker, or is that
in the smoke? Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
God,
yeah.
God, I want some of that.
Now I haven't done any eggs, but I've done the bacon in there. Oh, it's nice. Yeah.
If we were on a wagon train, you'd be
Oh, yeah.
Cookie.
Well,
We call
I
you
would do it.
Cookie.
Well, thanks. I would take that with honor.
This
Moist one says, if I want smoky eggs, I'd go after Miley Cyrus. What?
This conversation, man, it's like we've asked ourselves for so long to play God. We never
Yeah.
stopped to ask ourselves, should we?
We should.
My
We
God,
should
this is
grill the
crazy.
eggs.
What do you mean? What do you mean play God? How is this playing God? Phil?
This feels wrong.
What do you mean
wrong? How's it
Smoking
wrong?
the eggs?
Like that is too much goodness. That'd be like somehow like just creating the perfect food item. I don't know. I don't know if I can fathom this. I don't know if I can possibly interpret this with my
No.
mind. Like I don't know
You
if
better
I'm
not go to Randy's house.
capable of comprehending this.
Yeah, don't come over to my
Yeah,
house
yeah,
because
It
my
sounds too
backyard
good.
is a veritable smoke yard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to the smoke show. So I'm going to try this. I'll let you know how it goes as soon as I get my hands on
All
some
right.
eggs.
All right.
But
You don't put them in water though. You put them right on the
icy
on the
water.
grates.
Icy water.
Well, icy water at the end, right? I mean, you.
Oh, you mean no, just directly on the grill grates, and
Huh.
you give them a quarter turn with your tongs,
I'll be damned.
and there you go.
Hmm.
14 minutes later, put them in the ice. Yeah, let them cool off. and-
14 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, usually you put them in boiling water for 20. That's how you boil.
Oh no,
eggs.
no, Miss Kim, she puts them in the Ninja for like
Well, see, I
5.
don't know anything about that.
Oh, it's like
It does
Done.
feel.
I don't like air fryers.
It does feel like in
that's
order
it,
to
but, well, it's
justify.
done.
In
Yeah.
order to justify this, though, you got to make something else.
and he hit that you hit that
I'm
you hit
not-
that doodad on the top there. It does that for about 5 minutes.
I don't know about. All I know, Phil, is it's worth turning the grill on. I'm not doing charcoal briquettes. I got a propane grill.
Oh,
okay.
So that just I can turn it on and off. Is no big deal.
You know, you can
Heats
get
up
one of
pretty
those
quick.
little pans, and you put some of them wood chips in there with
yeah.
some. Well, yeah, but on the pan,
Mhm.
and then it makes that smoke inside your gas grill, Jeffco.
I'm all for it. I'm all for it, and I am intending on getting a smoker,
Mm.
so I can start to do some of the things I hear you talk about.
You've been
but
intending for like 5 years, Jeffrey.
Can I just be happy that I have a new thing to do by grilling these eggs? on
Oh
the-
my
on the
God,
thing?
yes.
What is
Now, do you put them in a thing, or you just like let them free range?
You free range it. You put them on the grate.
Oh,
They
no
don't
kidding.
roll around. They sit on the
Wow.
crack there, right, of each.
Okay.
And then
You have to use Sharpies in order to like measure this out a quarter, to say, oh, okay, turn it a little bit here.
no,
'Cause
you just be a grown up and know you've turned it a quarter turn.
I don't know if I can do that.
Yeah, well, you don't sound like you should be near a grill as it is.
You mark your eggs, Phil, like you mark your golf ball.
You do?
Oh yeah.
No.
Oh yeah.
No.
Mhm.
I think Randy
A
means
little
when you put
line
them
on
away,
there.
you put like a
Yeah.
little scratch on it.
A
So you
little
know.
line on there, and then you just kind of turn it like a quarter.
I was just excited to share this, but I guess I'm the only one that's going to try it, so I'll just do it myself.
Well, I mean, maybe I'll try it this weekend. I'll be smoking 2 pork butts this weekend.
Nice.
2 pork butts. I'm going to have pulled pork sandwiches. Got the whole clan coming in. Some of them coming in from Kansas. Some of them from East. East Arizona. They're flying in, or not flying, but driving in. Grandkids galore.
You're gonna have a mess of kids.
Oh
in that house,
my
huh?
God, yes. The
the
dogs
dogs will
will be
love it.
busy. The dog,
yeah.
Cecil and Blue, they'll be busy chasing grandkids around. Yeah.
Excellent.
That's a full family eating butts.
There'll be 12 grandkids here this weekend.
Well, if it occurs to you, give it a shot with the eggs.
all right,
14 minutes at about 400 degrees.
Of course, I could put that griddle on there and spray
Mhm.
that with a little Pam cooking spray.
Yeah.
And then put a little bacon on there.
Sure. No,
and
but
then
that's not what I'm talking
throw
about.
a couple of those eggs on there. Just let it.
That's just eggs.
Oh my God!
All
And
right,
then you,
I'm not talking to you anymore.
yeah,
I'll
flip
do
'em
this
over
myself.
over easy, and then bring your plates over, gang.
Dr. Roadmap says, Randy,
Yeah.
clouds are looming. How about a
yeah.
weather report?
Well, I mean, we could do that, I suppose. All right. From the 1580 The Fanatic Weather Center, including Ding Dong, Texas, where it's currently 82 and windy. Here in Phoenix, it's 71 with some high scattered clouds. And we're looking for some rain in the forecast coming up starting tomorrow, tonight, as a matter of ipsy facto, as my lawyer friends like to say. Rain moving into the valley starting around 10 p.m., moving throughout the early morning hours, and then all day on Thursday, 65 for the high on Thursday, 57 for the high on Friday, and 64 back up to the mid 70s on the weekend. Currently, the wind out of the where's my wind scale? There it is, southwest at 16 miles an hour with gusts up to 25. Currently, again, 71 degrees under a windy and cirrusy clouds up there in the atmosphere. From the 1580 The Fanatic Harmon Solar Weather Center, Chief Meteorologist Randy White. Back to you, Jeff Cope.
Thank you, Randy. And by the way, that little call out to Ding Dong, Texas.
Oh, yeah.
You know, in Florida, they got a town called Taintsville.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, but it's not what you think. In Taintsville,
yeah,
it was because they lived in a place that was kind of between places. And so people are always like, is this, am I in Oviedo? Am I in Cholula? And they're like, no, we taint Cholula, we taint
here,
Oviedo. So
Taint there, yeah.
we're Taintsville. Back then, they didn't use the word taint as the area between your, you know what, and your other thing. So Taintsville. So I want to hear some weather from Taintsville next time.
Taintsville, Florida.
Yeah, if you're going to shout out some random cities.
Well, I mean, you told me I had to come up with places, and
Let's just put this one on your list. I want to.
Oh, all right. Well, all right.
Taintsville.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get to the text line here. Buffalo Mike says, TC who? Good Big 12 tournament win for the Buffs today. How are the Devils doing? Right now, the Devils they're kind of slipping back. It's 45-37 in the second half with 15 minutes and a half to go. So, Glendale Mullet says, "Have you ever made bacon burnt ends?" Yum.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You get that out of the belly, pork belly.
Yeah, Glendale Mullet is another prolific grill master. He's a grill master.
Yeah, I burned my end making some bacon, but that's about it.
T-Licious says, you know what? I'm angry. I'm more angry about my Niners cutting Kyle Juszczyk than any signing that we'll make. Hopefully he doesn't end up on a team I hate. Navy Devil says, Josh Dobbs is trying to play for every team in the league. It seems like it. Yeah, him and Jacoby Brissett. I don't know. I think Jacoby might be up on him. Slave Dave says, funny story. Just started clearing out my garage thoroughly after eons, and I found I've got not one, but 2 vegetable pans for the grill that have never been used.
My goodness, man.
Seems like a good idea. Then you're like, vegetables? Pfft, whatever. Moist One says, Ipso Fatso would be a good texture nickname.
Ipso facto, as my lawyer
no.
friends like to say.
No, you said Ipso Fatso.
That'd
be a good texture nickname. Ipso
All right.
Fatso.
All right.
Cardinal Art says, just a heads up for Jeffco and Randy. Word on the supermarket aisles. Sprouts has baby back ribs, $1.99 a pound. Cheapest price I found was $3.16 a rack. Kiss the Cook says, chicken, damn it. What? Oh, he had a spelling issue. He said, even though I stopped eating bacon now because of Randy, I'm craving breakfast for dinner instead of cauliflower, potato, and chicken curry.
Man, I got to tell you, having not had eggs in, I think we're nearing a month. I'm starting to get itchy for eggs. It's crazy. I'm just like, I'm getting a little twitchy.
Just, pass one trip through the drive-through and you can afford a couple eggs.
Maybe you can go out to the ostrich farm.
Ooh,
I think that's
See what I'm saying there, Phil?
My girlfriend's leaving on a trip for Europe, so she's gone for like 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks.
Oh my
so
God! There you go.
I might have some time on my hands to go and just don't tell her, Randy.
You jump in there in the ostrich pit there by Zippy the ostrich right there at the nest.
Yes.
Hey, old Zippy the ostrich. She'll let you have her eggs.
What are we?
I feel like she'd murder you over the
No, no.
eggs.
Oh, yeah.
No.
You just want to go buy one at the gift shop.
What? Zippy the ostrich. She'll let you have the
How
eggs.
much will an ostrich egg run me? We're talking like
couple
$50?
$100.
A couple $100
Easy.
bucks?
Couple $100 easy. Yeah.
Really?
Unless you take it from the from underneath Zippy's.
And you run yourself. Yeah.
Nice, nicely spread loins.
No, you're wrong. It's $30 bucks.
Okay.
It says average ostrich egg price $30 for
That's
one.
what I said. $30.
You know
That's
what?
exactly
You
what I
You
said.
said 100.
But free if you can get your hand under Zippy's.
I do not suggest Phil try to steal the ostrich egg.
Oh my God!
Those ostriches and emus are terrifying.
No, those emus are they're deadly.
I've been working on my shiftiness and on my speed and agility for the
Just
pickleball
make
courts.
sure. Listen, can I come? I want to record it. I want to have this on video.
I like how
What you need to do, you light a cigarette for Zippy, Marlboro Red.
Yes.
Hand that to Zippy, and then you
got a problem.
reach under. Yeah, right
pull
there.
the old Indiana Jones. I
Oh,
love
yeah.
that. For anybody who's watching the video, you saw Jeffrey turn the flip and flip the switch. He just all of a sudden he's like, you know what? That is the dumbest. Actually, can I join? It was
Yeah.
mid sentence.
Oh, yeah.
It was a beautiful thing to watch.
I'm just like, all
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
go ahead.
That is the single most dumbest thing that. Hey, wait a minute. So when you go, invite me.
Yeah, can I come with you? I got look at the camera I've got on this thing. It's Samsung. This is gonna be clean and clear.
That was hilarious. Just seeing
your
the
last
transition.
moments documented for all to see.
I just saw the finger snap, just right there, just like, wait a minute. When you go, let me know. Let me know.
I just found a potential for amazing financial return.
Yeah.
when I saw
yeah.
the video.
Yeah.
Slave Dave says, as far as eggs go, smoke them if you can afford them. That's the new thing.
That too.
Oh yeah.
Moist One says, I'll bring some eggs over, Phil. I'll give you all you can eat.
I don't think he's talking about real eggs.
Yeah.
Cardinal Art says, smoking a few chicken thighs with Anaheim chilies or pecan wood on the old offset Weber tomorrow, once I'm off and tuned in.
Chicken thighs.
Still, one of these days, I want to have a grill party. I do. We all show up in the parking lot at CRC Broadcasting, and we just grill.
It'll be
nuts.
It'll be
Oh, my
grill
God,
gaming.
Yeah.
Kiss the Cook says, let's all switch over to duck eggs. Duck eggs, I think, would be gamey because if you eat a duck, it's greasy. It's a greasy meat.
Yes, that's right. I do.
So I
remember.
imagine the eggs would be gamey too, right?
Depends on what state. I don't know. I'm talking out of my butt for the first time this entire show.
For the first time ever, huh?
Yes,
Sure.
yes, yeah.
Trying to find the price on duck eggs you can get them for about $1 a piece. $7 for a half dozen. So
I think quail eggs must be like most.
They're small.
Yeah, but they're really small. So I'm wondering if you like take out the like how much each thing weighs and like go by gram or whatever the heck it could be. I'm wondering whether or not quail eggs are more expensive per egg than ostrich eggs.
90 cents each. So they're about the same as duck. They're cheaper than duck, but not.
But also
nowhere-
But that's per egg, though, Jeffrey. So I'm thinking that's an expensive
For
egg.
pure volume of one ostrich egg versus like 24 quail eggs, 36 quail eggs. I don't know how many eggs it would take. I don't have time for this math or science. With all this NFL free agency stuff going that we forgot to talk about the last 15 minutes.
Yes.
Let me clean up the text line real fast. Kiss the Cook says, "Are goose eggs or geese geese's eggs?" But,
they're
whatever.
mean. They're mean though.
I don't mind eating their eggs right in front of them like this. You mean sons of bitches.
Yeah.
I'll do it. I'll sit there and eat fried chicken in front of chickens. I don't even care. Big George says Phil's girlfriend is leaving the country for 2 weeks. Explains why Phil has an active profile on Ashley Madison. That's a horrible thing to say out loud, George. What a horrible thing. He's very much in love with his gal.
Absolutely.
Ashley Madison is that's who makes the ding dongs, right?
That's like a cheating website or something.
Oh,
I saw
my
it on the
God.
news about how
I
all
didn't
these
know
cheaters
anything
went over
about
there.
that. I'm sorry.
But isn't
I
that
thought that was a ding dong Twinkie maker.
Isn't that
Kind of is a little bit.
Yeah. Isn't that highfalutin cheating though? Isn't that like the people that are like looking for sugar babies on the side?
Something like that.
Yeah. So thank
Side
you.
pieces.
Sugar babies. Oh my God, when they're fresh.
It's good
Oh,
cereal.
and they don't pull your fillings out.
Sure.
Oh, they're so good.
No.
Yes.
Lost Toby wants to know charcoal. He doesn't want to know. He's stating that charcoal grill is greater than gas. I know that, but I need the convenience because a lot of times I get off the air and wife is like, "I need you to cook this." I'm like, "Okay." I can't sit around waiting for the charcoal grill. Hefty Lefty says, terrible pickup line. Hey, how do you like your eggs, girl? Fried or fertilized? All right. You're right. That is a terrible pickup
awful.
line.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah.
Gamecock says platypus eggs are delicious.
What?
I think they'd be hairy. Berg says quail is terrible. Quail's on par with mustard. Moist One says, "Oh, I got all these eggs and no hungry Phil."
Very nice.
Kiss the Cook says, "Oh, quail eggs are fantastic. I ate 20 of them at a sushi restaurant." You were drunk.
I've heard good things about quail eggs.
Liquid Courage says duck eggs are a little richer, but they're good. Richer, but are they gamey? That's the thing. I kind of expect them to be a little gamey.
How much richer?
Glendale Mullet says, "Why is George looking at Phil's Ashley Madison account?" This is probably a much deeper question. Well, why is a lawyer lying about poor Phil, who's deeply and madly and stupid in love with his gal? He would never do something like that. Cardinal Art says, Phil's profile on Craigslist. Let's be honest, guys. Phil doesn't have a profile.
On Craigslist?
I have a Facebook profile.
Are you selling something on Craigslist?
Hey, if I was selling something, it would be the entire package, Randy. Let me tell you.
I don't want to hear about your package. King Kitten says, Rando, that's Dolly Madison that makes the
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah. Okay.
All right, that'd be enough of all this. We have to take one more break because, yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are leaving at 4:42 because we have to make way for an NCAA championship game. It's the West Coast Conference Championship, which you've been hearing so much about and you can't wait to watch or listen to because we'll always get off early and it makes us happy. And then tomorrow, the Patriot League Championship, which you can't wait to listen to. And we're contractually obligated to carry. And everybody's been talking about it. And you'll enjoy it. And we'll be back Thursday because there's just no game on that day. So there. And then we got the Big East semifinal doubleheader on Friday. You're gonna love that.
Wait till you hear about the week after.
Well, we're going to take a 3-day weekend and then we're going to take a 6-day weekend. It's next weekend. It's going to be, this is so good. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Hi, guys. Jeffrey O'Brien here. Have you ever gone to HarmonSolar.com? Well, you really need to because everything you ever wanted to know about how solar power can save you big on your monthly electric bill is right there. It's online. Through your phone or through your computer, you can learn about tax credits, the equipment they use, look at how they do things for businesses as well as homeowners, see testimonials from happy customers, and I hear they got a pretty good podcast too. Check it out. Go to HarmonSolar.com. That's HarmonSolar.com.
I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do.
Let's play something, Grandma.
became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
I'm an Arizona truck driver. I deliver food, medicine, supplies, and hope.
And during times of crisis, I support our communities. But every day I see people putting lives and families at risk.
Distracted driving is deadly, period. Be aware, be safe, and visit sharetheroadaz.com and find tips on how to drive safely around trucks.
This message is sponsored by the Arizona Trucking Association Foundation.
Hungry for something exciting? Then come experience what's new at Kasai Japanese Steakhouse with 2 Valley locations. No one does Asian-inspired cuisine better or more authentic than Kasai, where talented Teppanyaki chefs create the food, the fire, and the fun of teppanyaki. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse, it isn't just dinner, it's dinnertainment. A memorable dining experience where a delicious 7-course meal is prepared right at your table with flair. It's the perfect choice for celebrations, date nights, or a night on the town. Choose from over 30 different items and combinations of teppanyaki, Asian fusion, and innovative sushi. Happy hour is always on fire with their daily specials. Try their new $12 bar menu items, Wagyu beef and Mongolian pork sliders, chicken or beef satay, and 3 delicious flavors of chicken karaage. 2025 is on fire at Kasai with 2 locations, Scottsdale Road and Thunderbird, and now open in Peoria at the 101 in Northern. Go to KasaiTeppin.com. That's KASAI Teppin.com or search Kasai on your mobile phone.
Catch all the action of NCAA men's basketball, starting with the game of the week. Got it! Wow! And conference and regional tournaments, NCAA tourney, March Madness, and the championship game live. Fires from 3. Oh, he hit it! Don't miss a moment on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com. Your home for March Madness.
Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. All right, Liquid Courage says duck eggs are not gamey. Swave Dave says, Jeffrey, you said you're leaving at 4:42 today. I meant 5:42. Yeah, did I say that? Whatever, I'm still messed up. Commando Duke says, I'll give Washington an A for free agency grade. Getting Tunzel to protect Daniel's blind side and Debo to catch some balls. I think that offense is taking a big step forward. Yeah, the Washington Commandos, they're doing great. Can't deny that.
The only thing that I wonder if they would have a redo is the Debo Samuel trade, because I look at what the Seahawks were receiving for DK Metcalf, and I think that the Commanders actually might have tried to match that had they known. It's a move well past now, like nothing that they could do about it. But I just wonder if all things considered equal, that they would have gone for DK Metcalf instead of Debo.
There might be some intangibles that you haven't thought of. There might be something to do with the cities, something to do with they could be other things that maybe aren't apparent on the surface.
Certainly.
As you guys know, the Browns have figured out how to keep Myles Garrett around with a new deal.
Funny how that works, huh? I do not want to re-sign with I want to trade. I need to see the owner. What'd you say? Yes. I love the Browns. They are a tier 1 franchise.
Love the cha-ching. So there you go. Everybody knows that Devontae Adams has got a 2-year deal with the Rams.
Yeah, that was
that's great for the Rams.
Yeah, honestly,
that's huge.
I mean, you saw how deadly they were in the spurts that Cooper Kupp was productive for the team.
Minus a Cooper Kupp plus Devontae Adams.
Yeah, if Devontae Adams can bring you some more consistency that Cooper Kupp was lacking, because he was very infrequent with when he was productive.
This makes Matthew Stafford even just way more dangerous.
Yes, absolutely.
You'll have different kind of routes. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Puka Nacua is like, I'm number 17 and Devontae Adams is 17. He's like, boy, I hope I'll be a good negotiator here. And I don't think he negotiated anything because all of a sudden he's like, hey, guess what, everybody? I'm number 12. So I don't know if Devontae Adams gave him anything for the number or if he just like, here you go. Puka seems like such a nice guy. He might have just let him have it.
Yeah, Puka's one of those interesting guys that he may have just given it to him just to be nice.
Yeah, just take it. Chris Godwin went back to the Buccaneers.
Yeah, that one was a little interesting. I thought that for sure.
$44 million guaranteed at signing.
Yes. 3 years, 66 though, right? I mean, the 44 is the guaranteed part, which is the important part, but it was 3 years, 66. No?
Guaranteed, you're right, but guaranteed money is everything.
Yes, is everything. Absolutely. I'm surprised. I would have thought that Chris Godwin could have garnered more interest outside of the Buccaneers, but he is one of those stalwarts on the franchise that it makes sense if he's one of those who starts and ends his career there. He could go down in history as like the Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt combo that the Rams had in Chris Godwin and Mike Evans for the Buccaneers currently.
Well, yeah, muchos gracias to Tom Brady. He's got a Super Bowl ring, so he's just there having himself a nice career. And Baker Mayfield is worth sticking around for, I think.
Yeah, better than not. So good.
Also, Hollywood Brown is re-signed with the Chiefs. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, I don't feel like they did much with him. I know he had some injuries and stuff, but I feel like he was underutilized. I don't know. Don't know what to make of that. Zach Ertz is staying with the Commandos on a 1-year deal, and he's very happy about that. And I'd be happy if I was the Commandos getting him for $6.25 million.
Yeah, great value. His age is the reason why you're getting such a good value on that. He revitalized his career. He looked finished out of Arizona.
Yeah.
I believe he took a year off. I could be wrong about that, but he
had injuries, so I helped.
Yeah. So
helped him.
So maybe recouping some of that. But yeah, no, great signing. For by all accounts, a great leader. Used to be a leader on the Eagles and seemed to be liked by the locker room in Arizona. So great job by the Commanders.
Aaron Jones is staying with the Vikings.
Yeah.
And he'll get $20 million, $13 million guaranteed. Okay.
Yeah. Seemed fine. I mean, the number one thing with Aaron Jones that you worry about constantly is just that when and where the injuries are going to happen. It's not a matter of when, it's a matter or if, it's a matter of when, because he will miss at least 5 games next year. You just wonder when they will be. Hopefully they're not during meaningful games that you can win without him.
How do you feel about old Javonte Williams heading to the Cowboys?
You know what? It's one of those rare moves where I liked Javonte Williams. I thought that he was a great piece, but Sean Payton obviously did not. Sean Payton had a committee backfield in mind, in place, and Javonte Williams time and time again seemed to be the odd man out. So because of how Sean Payton was specifically using him, because of what little production we saw to Javonte Williams, he didn't seem to quite have the burst that he had that maybe injuries robbed him of. So we'll see if he can get back on his feet, so to speak, on another team. I had no problem with him as a Bronco. I didn't, seemed fine during his time here, but because of how he was being utilized by the coaching staff, I am fine with him leaving.
Yeah, he was a last resort in fantasy football.
Yeah.
But as far as it goes with the Cowboys, they've got a committee, so he'll fit in.
He will definitely be much needed for the Cowboys. Like for them, he's a godsend. So good for him.
Running backs, let's see. Oh, Najee Harris, he's going to be on the Chargers.
Love this move. This move is one of the rare moves.
Huge.
It's
but
huge.
you know who wants a running back more than anybody else on the Chargers? The coach.
No, yeah, Jim Harbaugh loves to run the ball. So he's one of those that last year he was limited to what J.K. Dobbins could provide him. He's not usually that Jim Harbaugh. He doesn't usually have a bell cow back. He had one with Frank Gore, but that's about it. So when you look at the rest, he's going to run the ball again, run the ball some more, and getting Najee Harris, who's not a spectacular back as far as like what he can pop and bring for you in form of like Saquon Barkley, but he can provide you consistency, production, and that's something that is going to be absolutely valuable for the Chargers, who will love to have versatility and having a 1-2 punch of J.K. Dobbins and Najee Harris on that team.
Yeah, and the price is right on Najee Harris. Probably lower than it maybe should have been. 9.25 on the million. So He's got himself a little bit of a raise, but I feel like the Chargers got a great deal.
Chargers got a great deal, and honestly, it works out for both sides. You will get your chance to be highlighted with the Chargers if you're Najee Harris.
All right. Well, that's all the free agents that I have, unless there's been some new things happening. Far as I can tell, nothing big. I mean, Eric Stokes just went to the Raiders. Arthur Mollett has been released by the Ravens.
Von
Devin
Miller.
Bush has a 1-year deal to go back to Cleveland. Back to Arthur Mollett. Yeah, they released him, saving $2.2 million of cap space, and now he's a free agent. Panthers, let's see here. They agreed to wait a second. Xavier Woods has gone to the Titans from the Panthers. Safety.
Yes.
He's a bit troubled. Dolphins have agreed to terms with Ashton Davis, the safety. That's it. I don't think there's a whole lot. I don't think there's a whole lot more going on. I don't think we've missed any big things yet, right? I think it's quiet now for the rest of the day.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, there's a couple of moves here and there that make sense, but nothing that's going to really move the barometer here.
So Dolphins, they have Nick Westbrook-Akine. They whatever. He's really not anybody I need to know his name, to be honest. Another fantasy football disappointment.
Because he got injured. He was actually near the end of the year when, unfortunately, when most people, he came into their radar and he was getting picked up was when he got injured. So it's one of those very unfortunate situations where, especially if you're fantasy, which is probably where you know him from, by the time he came into relevance, he had gotten injured. So one wonders if he can revitalize it and come back on an injury return and maybe win like comeback player of the year or something with his new team.
So now we are picking at the dregs of the coffee of free agency for today. Now we're talking kickers. Johnny Hecker is with the Titans now, and punter Sam Martin is also signed with the Panthers. So that means we're done talking about this.
Wow.
Pretty sure we're done talking about this.
We're talking about kickers now.
Yeah, that's how bad it's gotten. So I think
wow.
We'll move on to something else. Buffalo Mike says Javonte Williams was never the same after his knee injury.
Yeah. He just certainly was like a bowling ball, right? He would just go down, and then he had surprising pop for a player that is as big and bulky as he is. So once he had that knee injury, never seemed to get back to that explosiveness that paired so well with his bruising nature that really made him such a high level running back, and not only in draft stature, but in league circles. So it's a little sad, but I wish nothing but the best for the guy.
Buffalo Mike also says, I wish the best for him too in Dallas, where running back careers go to die.
No, actually not true. Not true. Rico Dowdle had a very good year last year. Ezekiel Elliott, of course, had the running back year that led to him getting the big contract. And so running backs in Dallas are not actually doomed to fail. It's just doomed to stay is the thing.
I'll give you an update. Kansas State 58, Arizona State 50. So they're kind of hanging around. They're hanging around on Kansas State.
Yeah.
But they got 7 minutes to start to catch up before it starts to get futile. I'm just letting you know. Don't. That's your school, man.
It's my school, not my team.
Which team is your team then? If that's not your team,
I'm right now currently represented by the ASU Sun Devils football team. That is who I'm being represented by.
But this is basketball.
They don't count.
Yeah, you're right.
Basketball doesn't count.
1580.
Okay.
I mean, still, that's your team. It is your team. You say it's not your team. You're an alma mater.
Yeah, it is there. Yes, it is my alma mater, but it's so upsetting. It's just so upsetting a situation that it's making national news. Every once in a while, they'll be like, hey, Bobby Hurley, should he be fired? I mean, so we're making national headlines for all the right freaking reasons. It's so lovely to be a fan of this. It's lovely.
Okay. Well, Zoe, I don't want to send Phil away cranky. So let's change the subject. Baseball. Baseball. We're getting there. It's almost time for the actual season to start. Just weeks away.
Yes.
Hollywood Reporter put together a list of the 10 best baseball movies, and they blew it. They blew it so big. You know how you know they blew it? Major League is not in the top 10.
What?
Sandlot, not in the top 10.
What?
What the hell? Kind of list is this?
What were the top 10?
All right. I'll go 10-1. Ready? 10, Boiling Point.
What?
It's a Japanese movie about baseball.
Thank you.
Number 9 from 1942, Pride of the Yankees.
Heard of it.
Number 8, Sugar from 2008.
What? Honey.
Number 7, Bang the Drum Slowly from 1973.
Sounds like a movie I recreate every night. If you know what I mean.
Number 6, A League of Their Own from 1992.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Number
There's
5,
no crying in baseball.
The Natural from 1984.
I mean, I could go with that.
Yeah.
Number 4, Fear Strikes Out from 1957.
What
Wasn't that with the guy from Fear Strikes Out? Wasn't that with the Tony, the guy from Psycho? Anyway, number 3, Bull Durham. Number 2, Moneyball. And then number 1, 8 Men Out, about the Chicago White Sox scandal. And that movie's in 1988. So, yeah. How do you not have The Sandlot in there? How do you not have Major League in there?
Field of Dreams?
Field of Dreams. How do you not have Field of
Dreams is not in there? Yeah.
Absolutely should be on that list. So Hollywood Reporter don't know nothing.
Who came up with this list? It should be fired.
Yeah, you're right.
For the love of the game, yeah.
There's so many other baseball movies. It's like, it does make me curious about Boiling Point. I never even heard of Sugar. Why haven't I heard of Sugar?
Honey.
No, it's not that Sugar, Phil. Some of these other ones are all right, but I don't know. It's more infuriating what's missing than what's on it.
Yeah, I agree. That's terrible. That's
Moist
terrible
one.
Hollywood reporting right there.
Moist one, I can't read that. Ladies and gentlemen, let's do this right now. It's time for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1961 in Palm Springs, California, former President Dwight D. Eisenhower was a no-show at the Los Angeles Angels' first ever exhibition game, an 8-3 victory over the Chicago Cubs. Ike, who had left office just weeks prior, had been scheduled to throw out the first pitch, but decided to go fishing instead. Back to me, Jeffrey.
Hey, when you're retired, you're retired.
I feel like that's what jinxed the Angels. I mean, he knew, he had a dream about what they did to Mike Trout by wasting his career and
think you're right. Yeah.
And letting Ohtani go. So yes, Dwight D. Eisenhower was correct to miss that game because the rest is not great history. Not great history. Are we gonna have a good year this man? Are we gonna have a good year? Okay, my mouth.
You mean the Diamondbacks? Yeah,
Yes.
I think the Diamondbacks are going to have a good year. They've been relatively healthy through spring training. They've got some great pitching in place. They've got they seem to be hitting the ball in midseason form. I really like what I see out of this team. Again, they are a scrappy team. They are a defensive ball club, and when they get on base, they like to run the bases. And I don't have any problem with it. Now, can their pitching stay healthy? Can they stay in the race? I think they can. San Diego has not improved their team. And so I think the race right now is a Los Angeles, Arizona race in the West. San Francisco should improve. Colorado's still too young, in my opinion. San Diego is still going to be involved in it, but I think Arizona and the Dodgers are the ones you're going to want to look at.
Let me just tell you this right now. Scrappy is Scooby-Doo's Oliver from the Brady Bunch. You're too young to even know what I'm talking about, Phil. What I just said there was perfect.
Yeah.
Scrappy is Oliver to Scooby-Doo versus the Brady Bunch. Same character. Same character.
So instead of saying scrappy, what else could I say? This team is they are
oh no, it was perfect. You just made me think about Scooby-Doo. That's all.
It's
Scrappy. Delicious. Says when you accidentally order twice, just enjoy more pizza. He accidentally ordered 2. Yeah. He's got 4 Hungry Howie pizzas.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
And 2 things of crazy bread or whatever.
We're on our way.
Yeah, drop the address.
Right
we'll
now.
be there shortly. Thank you.
You got a fridge, and now you got pizza for days. Good for you.
Yep, we're on our
Booger
way.
Wolf says every time Phil goes canal diving, he comes up for air, rear end first. What? I don't understand. Well, okay, I
Great
guess
joke.
now
Great
we're
joke.
just gonna have to
Wonderful.
take the next day to sort out what that means. In the meantime, stay tuned. You got basketball coming up next here on 1580 The Fanatic. See you on Thursday.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent